I do the wall push-ups, you know?
Push-ups.
Anyway, whatever.
Push-ups are the
You could also
worst.
do the what are the push-ups where you just stay on your knees? Like you don't, it's not a full push-up. It's like a half a push-up.
Cheaters, I think they
Is that a
call them.
cheater push-up?
I
I don't
don't
know. It's
know.
got a name. I think my dad does them. He said, I did 100 push-ups. I'm like, wow. He goes, well, they're the cheater push-ups or whatever. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah. No, I mean, like when my son goes to Taekwondo, that's like when like um
Modified push-up.
they do a lot of they do there's a lot of times when they say things like if Master Roy, he when he says something like, you know, he just tells him to go do something, right? And there's like 20 kids and he's going around the gym or whatever, and then he catches kids not doing it. It's like, Mr. Caleb, what are you doing? Yeah, it's just like, it's like, I don't believe I told you that. That's 50 push-ups. And then when they have to push it, they have to do them at the end of class, because they have
Okay.
to do their thing. And then, so it's always neat to see. There's usually between like 1 to 7 kids, pushing the ground, and then he's always like, smile when you do them.
I should try real full push-ups, see if I can do it. Because I've been doing the modified ones or the um wall push-ups for 2 years now. It's crazy.
I can do like two push-ups, two real push-ups, and then I'm like,
I'll
Jesus
do that.
Christ,
I'll do that tomorrow and see if I what I can do. I might be surprised.
they're just not fun.
No,
But
it effing sucks. It all
yeah.
sucks. I don't like it at all. It's 100% not fun. But I
Um
told you it's only 7 minutes, so it's not fun for only 7 minutes. Oh,
uh
and then I started doing another exercise, which I don't know. We don't want to talk about this, but like I do these elastic bands.
yeah, my mom has elastic bands. And she like attaches
Yeah,
them
you
to like the
basically. I mean,
banister in her
it's. I
house, and
mean, you
then
can
she
kind of feel the, like you do 20 of these, you'll feel it. You're done. So if I'm sitting at my desk doing not like if I'm just waiting for something to finish or
like
you
I
know.
said, why don't you just lift your wallet? Shouldn't that be enough to strengthen you?
Oh, shut up. Lift the wall. What else? Are we live? Oh, we
Yeah,
got
we're
me.
live. We've been live for like 3 minutes. Um
God. Sorry about last week. We had the pirate boom. Well, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
I wish you could have been there. It was great.
It was my wife's birthday.
I know. Are we live?
Yeah. Um
Hey, Kabuki Kid. Hey, Kip. Hey, Nathaniel.
oh uh
Yeah. No, you know what happened? Me in the hospital 2 years ago. I'm like, I'm going to start doing something and just see what happens.
yeah,
I don't do it every day, but I do it almost every day.
good. I should do it too. It's just
Do the 7 minute thing and see if you can just get through it. Like you can get through it. It's not hard.
you do it if it's so cool. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
do. Well, I'm telling you, I'm just giving you. It's like the barest minimum. Like, I talked to my doctor about it, and they're like, "Yeah, you probably should do more." I'm like, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I
But I started doing the. So I do the bands, right? Which will get you. I'll get. It'll sweat you, make you sweat. And then I started doing this. 20 pounds. 20 pounds. It's a heavy motherfucker.
I uh I do that
I
every
got it
time
all here
I
at my desk, so I don't even have to get up.
oh nice. No, I'm 20 pounds. I do that every time I go to the bathroom. Last Boy
So
Scout. Last Boy
I felt
Scout. Where are you going? I'm going to the bathroom. You want to come and help me? My doctor said I shouldn't lift anything heavy. But dun dun.
yeah, I made the pirate boom private.
Too much.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the board game geek channel, it might be confusing, so I didn't want to like have to deal with any blowback on it. It was fun. It was a one time thing.
Better be.
Maybe.
Eh,
Yeah,
hmm.
well, when the temperature goes down, I'll probably walk more, but I hate walking too. I hate spending any time exercising. Really, anything more than 10 minutes, I am like, nope, don't want to.
Why do you
But
say
like I
that?
said, I can do it at my desk. I can do the weightlifting and I do the bands. So I'm like, I feel like that's at least something versus nothing, right? I was zero, nothing. I did absolutely nothing before.
Hmm. Um,
Anyway, I talk about non-exercise stuff.
no, that's fine. That's fine. I like going
Are
for
you,
walks. I like taking, but the thing is that I've only got one dog that's good at walks. And that's my healer. And the huskies, they just whenever they see anything interesting, it's just
they just
like
run.
they just yeah,
Bolt.
and
Yeah.
it's just
They walk you.
yeah, they
They're walking you.
yeah, and it's not fun, right? You're like just slow down. But they're just so excited, to be outside and all the smells, baby, all the smells.
All the smells. There's an under
Um,
this cycle. I didn't know that was, does those work? I guess they would work.
what
Just
what
if
what
you're just
works?
an under the desk cycle, like you're just constantly doing a cycle motion. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean
If
any
it had
exercise,
resistance,
right? I mean,
if it had resistance,
well, I mean, it's just like I mean, if you're riding a bike, I mean, it's like if
yeah,
I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like,
yeah, just do the
um,
make the movement happen.
I yeah, I mean, what sucks is that like I have a treadmill here and it's in the office and I mean, for a while there, I would
How
like
much clothes are hanging on it?
none,
Oh,
zero.
okay.
But it was one of those things where I would get on there and I would consistently every other day I'd go and I just walk for an hour, like in the winter.
That's a good amount
And
of time.
and I would just because I would throw on a podcast or there's a TV obviously, and I'd say, okay, I'm gonna watch, 1 hour of this, and I would just walk. And it wasn't like I wasn't moving fast, I mean, it was like,
Yeah,
whatever, 5 miles
couple
an hour,
miles
but
an
I would
hour.
just walk and I would
5 is
just
pretty
kind of
fast.
what?
5 is pretty fast.
I mean, and I would just
Yeah,
do it, and
I
I
would
did
like.
it pretty consistently. Then I got out of the habit, and then I'm now when I think about it, I'm like, ugh, just like so. I need to go do it, and I always feel bad too because I'm like, well, I should do it with my puppers, I mean, why don't I should because why do my puppers
Yeah,
have to
there's
like?
this evil thing in this world called a computer that just pulls me in,
Oh, I
sucks me
know.
in.
It's full of all kinds of things. I just want to say, we will, as much as I'm sure there's lots of people that would love for us to talk politics tonight after the debate. We're not going to do it just because, um,
Pretty good
you
debate
know,
though.
I listened. I'm
Well,
already
so
talking about it more than I wanted to, because my son had his
acknowledge
very
the
first.
existence.
Yeah, my son had his very first football game, and then after he played football, we immediately went to my niece's um, I went to my
Yeah,
niece's
gamer.
soccer game, and so I watched the soccer game, and then it was time to go home, and my son was riding in the car, and I thought there was a Twins game to listen to, so I went to AM radio, and all of a sudden it was like the live broadcast of the debate, and so it was like about 11-minute drive home, and I listened to 11 minutes of it, and I was just like, this is why am I
Did
listening to
you
this
did you tune
stuff?
in? But there's something I want to say, but did 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 you catch the dog line?
I didn't.
Cats,
So I got
cats and
home.
dogs living
I got
together.
home and then everybody was quoting it. They were just going. I mean, they were just being weird about it. And I was
It's
like,
some batshit crazy stuff.
I was on Facebook and I was just like, why are people like, what is this? Did I not see a movie that
It's
came
mind
out?
blowing to me. Whatever. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, no. I mean, no.
But it's
It's
just
fine.
it's
It's
fucking
fine.
bananas.
It is.
Anyway, hey, do you want
It's
to invite
Looney
Hungry? Do
Tunes.
you want to invite Hungry Gamer on? He's on the
Oh,
chat.
absolutely. If
Do
Hungry,
you have do you have the link?
isn't he in? Isn't he in the secret group? If
I
he
don't
isn't,
know.
he needs to be in the secret group. William, I'll just send it to you, but we got to get William in the secret group. So I'll find, I'll find Hungry, especially yeah. There you go. Hungry, I just sent you the link if you want to join in on the Zoom and just BS with us for a little bit. So no, I mean, and it's fine. I mean, but whatever. Trying to think.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. I will just keep my mouth shut, and I will.
He says he's not.
We're not cool enough for him.
He
Is that
says
what I'm?
secret group me.
Oh well, he's got the link now. I sent it to him, so he should just
There you go.
do that, and then I'll get him in the thing. So, um, I don't know, man.
You playing games?
Did I play any games? No, but I did sort my. I'm gonna guess it's about 80% of my RPG collection. Um, you can't see it,
I
but
saw
there's
how much, like couple shelves worth, like couple,
yeah, and
like not
there's
like shelf, complete shelves, so like book.
so Chris Kordzak at rpg.com. He will buy your, and it's, and it's, he does it to make money. So, I mean, if you're looking to get a premium for your stuff, you're not going to get a premium, but he also, like, he's the guy. If you have a bunch of old RPG books, if you have a bunch of just books, like if you want to, like, if you have a bunch of like science fiction books, and old, old pulp sci-fi fantasy books, things like that, like if you have a bunch of old Conan novels and you just like, I gotta get rid of these kind of things, he takes all that stuff. You send him a picture, he tells you the price. If you agree to the price, and he's very fair. Uh, he doesn't, like, if you send him a picture and there's stuff in there that's like garbage, like that probably isn't worth the time to send. He'll just take it. He probably just throws it away or donates it or everything. But he doesn't pick and choose. He doesn't say, I'll take that one and that one and that one. I'll give you this. He says, I'll take all of it and here's how much money I'll give you. And it's a very fair amount. He pays for the shipping. You pack up the boxes, you tell him how many boxes there are, and he sends you the UPS or the FedEx labels, whichever one you want to use. And then as soon as he gets the stuff and he makes sure that you didn't do anything, he just gives you the money. It's done. And it's just, and
Absolutely.
yeah,
It
yeah.
needs to be a
And
board. I mean, I think Noble Knight buys collections, but they're probably
they're I've heard, and good for them. They should get all the money they want. I'm not.
yeah. It's a service, right? I mean,
It's a, no, I mean, they're not
if
doing
you're
it as
yeah, if
it's
you're
like
looking to
give you top of the line, right? I mean,
oh yeah, I mean
it,
they'd go out of business.
well, no, and that's
A lot of
just it. That's the
a lot of
thing
that
that
stuff they're
drives.
not going to be able to sell.
That's what drives me crazy is that you see people that will post things and they'll say, "Yeah, I went to Noble Knight to sell them my board game collection, and they like barely like offered me anything worthwhile for it." It's like, what did you expect? Like in a Facebook group that will show remain nameless, somebody on there was just like, look at all these games, and it's like, is I mean, when is enough or something like that? And I said, you're not going to play 97% of those games. Get rid of them. And then they're like, oh well, I'm actually when there's a convention coming, I actually am gonna go to that flea market. I'm gonna do it. And I was like, you go there, you bring everything, you say $10 for a large box, $5 for a small box, minimum $100. And you just let people go through it all. And
Oh,
and
that's a
and
good idea. The minimum, because
The
I
minimum.
just did
The
that
minimum is
with
a good
my,
idea, actually.
yeah, with my buddy Don. We did that at a local con. Like we moved 70 games. Just,
yeah.
we had to do $20 pile, $10 pile, and then like the kind of real fancy stuff. It was, what do you think it's worth? And without fail, every single person gave me way more than I would like my minimum. Except for like the one like lame dude's like, I'll give you $1 for that. Like, get out of my face.
So
Yeah, you're always gonna have those people that are
we
like,
we threw about 1,500 games at BGG Spring.
you threw them
Yeah,
away or
no
you,
one's
you
there to
sold
catch
them.
them.
We sell them. They're all
Okay.
$10.
Yeah.
It doesn't
15 is
matter. I mean, I pull a few not so good, or I pull a few great ones out, and we mark them appropriately. Of course, well under what their value is, but usually the rare stuff, like, or well, like do you know Steph Hodge?
I know of her.
Yeah, the rain all the
Not
colors
ringing
of
a
the
bell.
all the
Not
colors of the
my
rainbow,
former coworker at the
all the games of the
TNG.
rainbow. Well, she is amazing. She's a encyclopedic valuator. So I let her walk the room a few times, and then she's like, you should pull that, tell me what to pull and sell $10, and $10 goes. They go. And on the second day they go down to $5, but you got to buy at least $20 worth. So you got to buy at least 4 of them.
I went to a Breakout Con in Toronto last year, and they had an interesting thing. Like, it wasn't their flea market. Like, you had to submit your stuff early with your prices, and then it had on there, if this hasn't sold by this time, this is now the price. If it hasn't sold by this time, this is now the price. And they had,
so they kept dropping prices each day.
yeah, but there was no, like, it was like, would it be like just me in there doing everybody's stuff? It was really interesting, and stuff was moving. Stuff was really moving. It was kind of cool.
So this is my favorite story, and I have to tell it before I forget about it. I know I told it before.
Remind me to talk about BGG Con flea market.
Yeah, no, I will. This is actually BGG Con.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
It was at the flea market, the BGG Con, which is the best flea market to go to. But I remember I was like, because if you've never been to a flea market, you guys set up rows of tables, and there's like 4 or 5 rows of the tables, and then you get in there.
There's like 10 rows of tables.
Well, whatever. It's a fair amount, right?
A lot.
And don't short his tables.
And
I know.
Yeah.
It's
like
massive.
People are gonna not go to
it's a
BGG
massive
Con
room,
now.
and everybody's got.
4 doesn't sound like enough.
Okay, fine. There's a plethora of tables, and so you start, and it's just like, and it is you walk up and down the rows looking to see and to buy things or whatever, and it's like it's fantastic. I mean, it's like people are trying to get rid of this stuff, and for the most part, they're selling it like 50 cents in the dollar or less.
Probably
so
most things.
Yeah, most things. So, but it's an hour. You get an hour to sell, and then we're done. You're out. So, and they actually say, it's like, you have 45 minutes left. You have a half hour left. You have 15 minutes left, and it's like 5 minutes, and the hall is closing, right? And so it's like, make your last wheels and deals. And there was, I don't know, if this guy was 80 years old, he was 1,000, and he was sitting at this table in the back that said, it was like every single old school Worthington Games, every old war game manufacturer, like his entire probably war games collection on this table, just stacks and stacks and stacks. And there was a sign that says, "Don't ask me if they're complete." That's all it said. And then the other sign said $20 a game. And people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is whatever from SPI," and they were grabbing it. This is that. And then when I did my next circle, I was about a half hour. He crossed, like, just taken a pencil and crossed off the $20 and said $10 a game. And then it was like kind of thinning out, and then he had less and less. And then when I came back with, like, it was 15 minutes left or so, and then it was like, and it said $5 a game, and he was still sitting there. And then the last time I circled around, he was nowhere to be seen. There was still a stack of like 16 or 17 games, and he had crossed over that. Take them. It's just like,
I don't know that guy. I'm trying to think of who that is. I don't.
He was like, I am not living. I'm not leaving with any of this.
No, I'm not leaving without.
I'm not leaving. Yeah,
not living.
People go to the BGG kind of flea market and they die. Like that.
Yes, I'm not getting out of here alive.
So the one I was just at, there was this guy with a bunch of war games, and it was about halfway through where I picked up what he was saying. He was like, "Yeah, and I print these things and I make these things out, but I always leave one piece out of these copies, so I'm not illegally copying people's games." And I was like,
"What?
He's copying games.
Oh, he's copying
and making his own little box covers, but he leaves one thing out, so he's not copying their games." And I was like, I feel like that's not allowed, sir. He's like, no, I don't do all of it. So it's copying.
Like war games?
They're like war games. Like, he'll sell, like, he'll copy the maps, and you can buy those from him separate. I was thinking about Lance.
Well, there's a whole, sub industry of pirated type products. Not pirated, but unlicensed and, extra. Just Etsy is amazing. Treasure trove of illicit game materials.
Boy, it makes it
Well,
sound way
yeah.
spicier than board games is. The illicit board game Etsy store.
Well, you know, it's just like I try to operate on the level of getting permissions and all the things. I do operate on the level of getting permissions. I don't try, but I go to companies and they say no, and then I go to Etsy and I see 100 things of that company's game stuff. So I'm like, ugh, so frustrating. Anyway, so I got a copy of Star Wars Queen's Gambit on the last BGG Con in shrink.
Wow. What?
Although the
Yeah,
shrink was sort of like
I saw you had that, and
well, you know, that was
the
the guy you got the D&D stuff from the year before.
yeah.
That was that.
I was a little bit miffed about that one.
Oh, someone snaked the snake.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
Scott, you should go get that right now and just put it right next to you.
Well,
Should I
no,
go grab it?
I have a copy. So get this right.
Yeah, so why do you need another one?
Because
I do too. It's in the
my
library.
my copy's really beat to heck. So true story about this one. Way back
Here's the
when,
thing. I'm probably never going to play it, but go ahead.
you know, so back in the day when they do they still do the Geek of the Week? I don't even know if they do the Geek.
No, we stopped that.
So
it was too much. Yeah, it was too many things.
yeah, I know. But I remember so somebody picked me to be Geek of the Week, and it was cool and everything like that. And then somebody asked me, "What's the what's the one game you wish you had but you don't have a copy?" And I said, I can't find a copy of Queen's Gambit anywhere." What?
Viking.
Yeah, Viking did. And I was like, Queen's Gambit. And then somebody reached out and he said, "I got a copy. It's a little beat up, but if you give me your address, I'll send it to you." And so he just sent it to
the
me.
week has benefits then.
Yeah, and I played it once. It was fun. I mean, it was really fun.
It's a good game. It's fun.
It's a product of its time. It's pretty clunky. I mean, it's a lot of and it takes a long time to play. It takes a really long time.
It don't take that long to play.
How do you know, Scott? He's just still in shrink.
No, I played it. I had my copy's in the BGD library, my original copy, and then I got the shrink copy last year. But I had played it before I put it in the because it came out in 2000, right?
I don't know.
I played it at least
the same.
I played it at least half a dozen times. When did the prequels come out? 2000, right?
Yeah.
I think that first one. Gosh, I think I was a junior in high school.
Oh my lord, I feel old now. Queen's Gambit.
Because I went to a boarding school and they took all of us to see it because it was such a big deal.
By the way, if you Google Queen's Gambit board game, the Netflix board game comes up. 2000. I saw it in the comic store when I used to go to comic stores, and I just grabbed it.
Well, the chat wants you to do an unboxing of it.
Yeah.
Of the
Here's the thing: I might just give it away or sell it. If I do, I don't want to open the shrink. I mean, it's
if you ever give that up, you freaking talk to me first. I'll buy
a copy.
I will buy it from you. So don't you just
it's going to be in the flea market, but it's going to be at the when I die, you can take this pile.
Yeah. Don't you be just
I just felt
it out.
I don't know why I don't even really. For something came over me that I'm like, oh, it's a good deal. I'll just buy it. But Zach is a very kind vendor.
Yes.
I've known him for many years. He ran for governor, I think. Maybe governor or definitely a higher political office than I thought he might be able to win. But I was surprised that he did it. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Anyway.
And then he failed his charisma.
And he's quite allergic to chocolate.
That's how you got it. That's how you got it. You're like,
yeah. Well, we were talking about chocolate.
Give me a better price, buddy. Give me a better price.
I'm gonna get him a chocolate on you. He literally just touched a piece of chocolate one time, and it like made him almost die.
Oh, she's also
he's awfully. That's extremely allergic.
I didn't know people got that allergic to chocolate.
Yeah, me too. I was first thing because
we call them weak.
When I first met him, we worked on a puzzle hunt together. Like it was a puzzle hunt around town in Columbus. And I had just met him and I'm like, we need a fourth person, and he came on the team.
And then you almost killed him.
Chocolate. Yeah, I think something like somebody had a peppermint patty. I think I remember the story. Someone had a peppermint patty, and the wrapper was like in a common piece of the game that they were playing. Like the wrapper somehow got in contact with the pieces in the game. Like he had, he opened a peppermint patty, fixed the finished peppermint, put on table, and then and somehow a piece of game piece got on the peppermint patty. He touched the piece and then had to go to the hospital. That was like the story, I think.
That's
Yeah, I'm like,
that's horrible.
what? A peppermint patty can kill?
Well, I guess I have to
York,
respect peppermint
York
patties.
peppermint patty. I
So
go,
now the
York
only
pepper-
real trash candy is the Tootsie Roll Pop, I guess,
Yeah.
or just regular. No, the
Yeah,
Tootsie
the
Rolls
Tootsie
that
Roll
are
Pop will
like
kill you.
fruit flavored. That's
Yeah.
the real
Oh,
trash
those,
candy.
yeah, that's like you could be caught by surprise, like a purple grape, put Tootsie Roll Pop, and like, oh, there's chocolate in here.
Yeah, there was like I don't know, it was like 10, 12 years ago now. My buddy was coming over to our house for Halloween, and we'd, for whatever reason, that year everybody was coming to our neighborhood, and we're like, "Oh, Ken, can you pick up some candy on the way? We're almost out." He's like, "What should I get?" And we're like, "Whatever's your favorite." Dude shows up with Tootsie Rolls, and we're like, "What?"
No,
He was
no.
like, "Do you know
Oh,
how old I
Matt's.
am?" I was
Hey,
like,
look at. Oh, look at that. Hey, Matt, do a heart.
No. Oh,
We have this
Oh.
big thing at the bake shop. We have a
mine
have to have
doesn't
an-
do it.
"It
You have to have
doesn't
an.
work
You have
for
to have a
Lance."
Mac. You have to have a Mac.
So dumb.
Do you not do the rainbow? There's a rainbow thing too. I forget how to do it though.
there's this one too. Or there we go.
There you
Whoa.
go.
And then there's this one.
Oh.
And then there's the thumbs up.
AI is gonna destroy everything.
I know.
We have this there's a whole bunch of nostalgic candy at the shop, and every time I go over, she all calls me over, so I'll walk over the 3 doors, whatever, three houses down. I'll like fix the iPad or something, it lost connection to the printer or something like that, and as payment I just grabbed 3 Tootsie Rolls on the way out. My
God
favorite.
bless you.
They're my favorite.
You're the one that keeps the Tootsie Rolls in business.
What's even better is the Tootsie Rolls that are like different flavors.
Do you know those
Ooh.
long? Do you remember
Oh,
those
Ah.
long Tootsie Rolls that are like the
You
double
know,
wide, like really
they
long?
don't have
Well,
nice
the ones
things
that
like
I get are about this long, and they're
Yeah, like
like
a
little-
couple
That's
inches.
what your wife told me.
Hey-o.
Hey,
I'm sure about the colors. Ooh.
Everything
They don't get
I
nice things at
think
the
I
end of the day,
see
so we
becomes
gotta give 'em
a
some slack.
Tootsie Roll to me.
Oh, so the other day, do you guys
Mhm.
remember this from Sesame Street? Aldi, you'll remember this because the other guys aren't as old. Do you remember this from
Thanks.
Sesame Street? Or
I'm
it might
older
have-
than you are, Lance.
You are?
I'm
How old are you?
51.
I'm 52.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Ooh.
So
Lance, someone wants to know about your hat, by the way.
it's the twins alternate jersey. The cool thing about it is it has the Lake Minnetonka topography right there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Prince.
Anyway, Prince,
You gotta-
baby.
You gotta cleanse yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Yep. Well, the Lake Minnetonka
That's
is
not
the
Lake
one that's
Minnetonka.
Lake Minnetonka is actually like around the Twin Cities. So
Have we talked about
Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Purple Rain?
Yeah, great movie.
Purple rain.
But anyway, so before I get off topic, because I'm gonna forget what I was gonna say. Dang it, I'm forgetting it already. What
Tootsie
were we talking
Rolls.
about?
Something about
Tootsie
Tootsie
Rolls, and then
Flea
we moved
markets, Queen's Gambit, killing people with chocolate.
We distracted.
The Sesame Street song.
Oh, the Sesame
on. Sesame
Street.
Street, yeah. So
Fuck.
it might have been either Sesame Street and it might have been the Electric Company, but it was like
It was
you
the
know-
electric company. I already know what you're going to talk about.
Okay, so you remember that container? Like what was it? The kid going and he had to remember what he. It's like
It was a little girl.
milk,
She had
thing
a
of
stick
milk,
of butter,
a
a
stick
quart
of
of milk.
butter. It was like a bottle of milk, and a stick of butter. And it was like a
Quart of milk.
a quart of milk
Pound of butter, stick of or
and a stick
of
of butter. What was the second thing?
Bag of
Was-
flour.
No,
This
it's
is
a
stick of
container
butter.
of
Weirdest
milk.
man conversation I've ever been involved with.
No. What was that? It was a container of milk,
dinner.
and
Now you-
a stick of butter.
This is what's written on their fridges right now, what they need.
It was a little African American girl.
A loaf of bread, a container of milk.
Loaf of bread. That's it.
A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. And it
And
was
I
just
remember.
And then I remembered, and then it was
Bread,
like,
milk, and butter.
Now don't forget a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. If you can't remember, I'll write it down for you.
That's okay, Mommy. I won't forget. I remember.
Oh,
Milk and a stick of butter.
no, I remember that.
A can of milk and a stick of butter.
so I don't remember this at all. Not at all. I mean,
Really?
I kind there's like a vague hint of memory here, but I don't remember the actual.
I totally
I
remember it.
I totally remember the counting song with the pinball machine.
Oh
One,
yeah.
two, three, four,
1, 2,
five.
5, 6,
You-
7,
who
8,
can't
9,
remember
10.
that one?
I mean, that's the one
classic.
that I remember. That's the Electric Company.
How about the
Anyway,
Ladybug Picnic? You remember that one?
No, that was an electric company. That was
That was
normal.
Sesame Street.
That was Sesame Street.
So was the quart of milk thing.
the pinball thing was Sesame Street.
It was all Sesame Street.
I thought that was Electric Company.
You know what I was thinking about? I saw a picture of Snuffleupagus.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and I remembered when I found out that, like, because that was the whole thing about, and this is actually kind of awful, but it was, so for the longest time, it was like, Snuffleupagus was like, everybody thought it was Big Bird's imaginary friend. The adults can never find him or whatever, but like, he was real, right? You can see him. And I always thought, but then you found out later that like, they actually, they found him. And then they had a big thing where they said, we'll always believe you, Big Bird, from now on or whatever. And then you were like, well, that's stupid. I like the fact that it was, before, but then the reason they did that was because they wanted to promote the idea that you could tell your parents if something is going on and they'll believe you. And they didn't want to and so that was like one of those things where like, so it's like, but I was still like, man, Snuffleupagus nobody used to believe in him. And Big Bird would be always like, come quick. And then, but whatever.
They had the hard hitting stuff. Like when like Mr. Hooper died, they're like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they thought about I was reading something where they said that they were gonna say that he had moved away, but then they said no, we're gonna address it. And we're gonna and then and to this day, Big Bird has a picture of Mr. Hooper standing outside the door.
Oh really?
Above his nest. To this very day.
Oh.
So I mean,
One, two,
Mr. Looper, it's Hooper.
That's late.
Wow, I feel like we've covered the full gamut. Since
Yeah,
I've been here,
I know.
from
What else have we got
crappy
left?
Candy to people dying in flea markets to like heart-wrenching, touching Sesame Street. Like we've
Well, I mean, it's just
covered it.
I remember when they would come on with the fundraiser for PBS, and then
Yeah.
you're like, I
You
want
hated it.
Yeah, go back to my show, you jerks. You just
But you can get this book bag.
oh yeah, you can
Donate
the
$50.
the book bag.
WNPE, WNPI. That was my station.
Every now and then we'll do the like the NPR fundraiser out here or whatever, and we would pick the one where it's like, oh, that's a cool little gift. You just get random gifts though.
Oh, they don't actually send you what you want.
Like sometimes they do, but it's like it's some volunteer and they're like packing stuff up. It's probably like a high school intern or something. Like
So I think we've talked about this before, but I know you guys watch 3, 2, 1 Contact.
Oh,
Oh
fuck
yeah.
I watch that every.
yeah.
But here's the thing.
intro.
The
Here's the thing,
Bloodhound Gang? Come on.
I was just about to say the Bloodhound Gang. I could never, because it was only like a part of the story. I don't think I ever finished any episode with the entirety of the story of the Bloodhound Gang.
I
You know, 'cause
remember
it was always like it would always just tell you like last time on the Bloodhound Gang, and it'd be like and you would never finish the story. Like, what is this? Why they
I
keep repeating
remember-
the same Bloodhound Gang?
one particular caper was
Paper.
this this guy was boasting that he found the world's heaviest meteorite, and it was this thing that was about this big, and it was on a pedestal and you couldn't pick it up, and nobody could pick it up because it was made of this
Their
like
heart wasn't pure.
and then the blood exactly, and then the Bloodhound Gang figured out that it was because it was a super like a electromagnet
A
underneath
super
it.
magnet.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah, electromagnet.
cheater.
Do you remember the Edison
that,
twins?
That rings a bell.
Does it?
That's that story. So maybe I have seen all the Bloodhound. One full episode of a Bloodhound Gang.
Or at least the ending.
At least the ending. Because if you
Did you guys watch
Because Scott spent years walking around. He was like, everything's an electromagnet.
What's
Everything.
up with the Bloodhound Gang?
I
Yeah.
don't know what leads to electromagnet, but that's the answer.
did you guys watch You Can't Do That on Television?
Oh yeah.
That
So-
was good for me.
Yeah. All like every day.
That was a fine Canadian show.
That was a great and the guy who
was-
played all the adult characters.
Oh, yeah.
Blarg, what was it? The Blorf?
Barf.
no Barf.
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 The guy
What do
in
you
the,
think's
the diner.
in the burger? Yeah, I heard that.
No. So that was filmed here in Ottawa, actually.
Okay.
But I just found out that Christine just turned 60 the other day. I'm like, oh my
Oh, I know.
God.
I saw that too. Moose.
Yeah, I went to
Moose.
high school. I went to high school with Alistair. The guy
Was
that
he
played.
one of the,
He was one of the guys. Yeah.
was he the tall guy?
Yes. There was Adam, but Adam was on like a bunch of like X-Files and other stuff too. But
I never
there
saw
was
the
a-
Alanis. I never saw Alanis Morissette. If I did,
No,
I
I
don't,
never did
I don't
She was
remember. ever
later
watching.
on.
Yeah, I think it was beyond after
Yeah.
after
No, I
I stopped watching it.
there was a part of that. I think it was part of You Can't Do Television or something. The Edison twins. I don't know if you ever watched that.
It didn't ring a bell.
It was a Canadian thing, so probably not. It was
But I
about
watched that.
poutine
They
and
can't do that on
hockey.
television every day.
Yeah, I remember that. And I mean, when you watched it so many times that you knew
You just knew the skits. Yeah, you're
you
like.
knew the skits at that point. I mean, that was always annoying to me. That I was just kind of like, come
I
on.
mean, it was pretty good comedy for a kid show.
Yeah.
At least in my head. it-
Yeah, I mean, it was. I'll totally agree with you that it definitely was. It felt like it was our show, right? It's like it was felt like it was something that we got to watch that was like made for us, and it was like,
Is there a documentary about the show? I think there's.
yeah, there was. It was. I don't know. Got you the green slime,
Yeah.
and what was the one where they got the water?
You just say the word water.
Oh, or wet. I remember, like if you said
Yeah.
wet, you got it.
Just the word water.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, and I remember like wasn't there a kid like Kevin Kubacheski or something like that was the one?
Yeah,
kid?
yeah.
And then he was the one he would say I don't know, and then he'd hit with the green slime, and he'd say water so he could wash him off, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Good
times.
good stuff. You know what I was thinking? Okay, I'm not gonna give any spoilers or whatever for Beetlejuice. I have seen it though. I'll give it a solid B. I enjoyed it.
B for Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Ha. But I was reminded again of the Beetlejuice cartoon, and that was actually not a bad cartoon.
That was
And
a
I
good
thought-
cartoon. I
I
remember
never
watching
watched it.
It
Yeah,
was
I like
okay.
that one.
And so was the Ghostbusters cartoon.
No, the Ghostbusters or the real Ghostbusters?
No, not the real Ghostbusters. The original one was
Yeah, the first
awesome.
one, I think. Yeah.
No, you're
With the
talking about
ape?
the ones that weren't. No, the one with the ape was horrible.
Oh my
No,
God, it was
no,
so
no.
good.
When the one when Slimer
You're
was their
wrong.
buddy. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's the real Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. So
Oh, yeah,
they
get out of here, Matt.
so if you go, that's a whole story, and it's kind of a fun little
I love it.
dive
Yeah.
into, but like basically, they had the rights to like there was a show called The Ghostbusters, and it's nothing like whatever, and it was over and done with. But when the Ghostbusters movie came out, like I don't know it by heart. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but there was a big giant thing where after they started, go watch the movies that made us on Netflix and and watch the one about Ghostbusters, because they talk about having to get the rights for that from that small little production company that made that cartoon called The Ghostbusters. And then for some reason, like they couldn't get the rights to it when they made the cartoon, so they had to change the name slightly and call it The Real Ghostbusters. And And the real Ghostbusters still has one of like the best references of all time. There's I forget what it was, and I know I've told the story before and on some episode here, but there's like a moment where they're chasing down, like somebody has summoned this spirit, and the spirit's name is whatever it is, the God Slayer or the God Killer or something like that. And so the Ghostbusters show up, and he comes out and he says, "Are you gods?" And then Ray actually steps forward and goes, "I got it. Yes, we're gods." And he goes, "Then die." He's like, "I said we were gods. I did the right thing."
Yeah.
So Chris in the chat just called out Pinky in the Brain.
I liked all. I mean, animated. Some of it got
I
a
think I've
little
only
old.
ever watched like 1 or 2 episodes of that show.
So
I watched all of them.
Yep.
the
I think
Animaniacs
it might have been
was
your
the-
guys' era.
Oh,
Well, I watched
that
it
was I'd
because
come
I
home
was a
from
little older,
school,
but I
so-
still watched it. Hello, Nurse.
Yeah, no, so the lineup when I'd come home, it was Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, Power Rangers. That was the after school for me.
Oh, the after school for me was Batman the animated series and then Animaniacs.
Hey, did you watch the new Batman on?
Yeah, it's the Cape Crusader. It was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And I won't. Yeah, again, I'll
Yeah, it's quite
reserve.
good.
Trying to remember. I think my afternoon was like I Love Lucy, Flintstones,
Ah, the Flintstones.
Scooby Doo. I think.
Flintstones.
Yeah, I can't really remember what I would watch, but and that you can't do that on television.
My son's getting my
Did you guys
my
see
giant feet.
the greatest night in pop, or what was it called? The greatest night in pop.
What was
Have you seen
that?
that? It's a documentary about the making of We Are the World.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
So Dan Aykroyd is in it.
Yeah.
So much Ghostbusters reference. They were like referencing. It was like Dan Aykroyd was super popular at that time with Ghostbusters. They were like singing the songs in the making of the show. It was great. I'm like, wow, I forgot how much of a phenomenon Ghostbusters was.
Yeah, go read any recent interviews from him. He's
By the way, if
fallen
you
off
have
the
not,
deep
yeah,
end.
no, for sure. And if you have not seen that documentary, recommended.
Yeah.
So great. I'm like, they filmed all this video and it never. I mean, maybe it surfaced at one point, but maybe
I had
never
no
rented it
clue
again.
that they did it after the awards.
It was. It's great.
Yeah.
It's so good. And
Really
Cyndi
well. It was really
Lauper-
well done.
Cyndi Lauper. Oh, I love Cyndi Lauper. She's so cute. It's so
Oh my
great.
God.
It's the
Her
best.
earrings, fucking.
Oh yeah,
jingling.
yeah. Well, that's a little bit of a spoiler, but yeah, there's some great stuff in there.
Well, it's not a spoiler. It's a
The
freaking
Bob Dylan.
documentary.
Well, the Bob Dylan. I know, but like, there's some stuff in this.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's just fun to see it without knowing about it.
That's Aldi for you. Spoiling.
I
things.
didn't spoil
Yeah,
it.
I'm not gonna.
That
I'm not
spoiled
gonna
it.
even bother now.
Whatever.
That's Aldi
Should've
for
kept
you.
it, though. It's
Doesn't
very,
doesn't
very-
doesn't take anybody else.
Shut up.
It's very good. And they were basically waiting on Prince.
No way.
That
Yeah.
sounds like that sounds like it's probably was a running gag or running theme throughout his
Always-
life. People were
Always
waiting on Prince. Yeah.
Always waiting on Prince. Anyway, I highly recommend that documentary. It's delightful. Reminds me of a different time.
Isn't it delightful?
Like, I don't think that song could ever get made now.
It would be tough.
I
Everybody
mean,
would
the
be
way
like,
the way they all came together and did it, and it was like there was no egos. It's
yeah,
crazy.
no, it was fabulous.
Yeah. Anyway, the documentary is awesome.
All right, gents. Well, my wife just got home, so I'm gonna go check in. I
Yeah,
keep inviting
good to see
me.
you for
I
a
just
minute.
literally was just watching. I was
You
like,
are you not in the secret group?
No.
All right,
Well,
I'll
I
get
think
you.
what
I'll get
happened,
you in
Lance,
there.
was, last year for the whole year, I was taking a class on Wednesday night, and so you're probably like, get the F out of here. That's probably what happened.
No, I'll get you in, and then you can just you'll have the
see
link
the-
every
see the link.
single time. Yeah, you'll see the link in there. You can
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, all day. There's
say hello to
You
Mrs.
will.
Hungry Gamer for us.
Oh, I will. There's a good chance I'll be at some of the BGG cons because my
Oh,
podcast co-host is gonna have to the next couple years super commute to Houston. So,
Okay.
well, I guess we got to
So
go to those
you'll
Texas
be
cons now.
around. Yeah,
Huh?
please. Yeah, let me know.
I have no idea where BGG Con's held compared
It's
to
in
Houston.
Dallas,
That's
which
like
is
this-
only like a few hours from Houston. It's like 3.5, 4 hours,
It's just
something
down
like
the
that. Maybe,
street.
no, it's more than that. It's like 5 hours. It's more.
Yeah,
Where
but,
are
you
you,
know,
Will?
I'm in San Jose, California.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I lived there for a year. I feel like it was a dream.
Yeah.
I lived in Sunnyvale.
Oh, that's right up the street.
Yeah, I mean, and I worked in San Jose.
Oh man.
And I was
then,
just like,
then you were
I
like, you know
think
where the
back.
real money is? Board games.
Yeah, right. Well, had I not moved back, I would not have met my wife, but I do regret moving back. Like, part of me misses California. I
Well,
left my heart in San
we got a
Francisco.
couple fun
If
smaller cons. I'm
you're
trying to convince Lance to come to KubaCon.
Going
You guys should all come.
to San Francisco.
Sorry, you cut off on the Lance
Oh,
was
I said
singing.
I'm trying to convince Lance to come out to KublaCon.
Oh, I came to KublaCon for 10 years in a row.
Yeah, you guys should come
I
out.
was a
We'll just
special guest
play
for
some games.
10 years in a row.
Oh, you forgot to flip your hair, Mr. Special Guest.
Well, that's when I was podcasting.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were inviting whatever.
They were
That
just
was a long
inviting
time
anybody.
ago. They were just inviting anybody. Yeah. Well, we were like one of the first, if not one of the first podcasters ever. Like we were like one of the first 5 podcasts ever
He
done.
was like, we were the #1 podcast.
No,
One out of one.
Adam Curry. Like we wrote to Adam Curry. I wrote to Adam Curry and basically just tried to get info from him and like learn stuff.
Who's that?
Adam.
And
He was a
he had to write
VJ.
a letter, and he had to
Email.
ship it into the
Yeah, it was like
flag.
it was the slow boat. Anyway, whatever. So we were a board game podcast back in the day. One of the only ones.
Now
Anyways,
That's why I got
you throw
invited.
a rock and you hit somebody.
Yes, now you're throwing a rock and you see a podcaster.
hopefully I'll be able to pop in for a little bit next week.
Yeah, let me
I'll
know.
talk to you guys soon. And
Great to see you, Will.
later.
Then
I have a grievance.
I was just gonna say I had one, but you can go.
So we went to we're renting a wheelchair for my dad to use because he's reached a point where we don't feel comfortable with him on the scooter.
All right.
like a rascal or something.
Well, it's pretty beat up for one thing, and if he was to go on a scooter, he'd have to get a new one, and he bumps into stuff, and so I we had this appointment today at the place where we're renting his wheelchair from to get him assessed for mobility, and the lady would basically make a recommendation to the government, and they would pay for 75% of whatever the thing she recommends is. It could be anywhere from a cane to a scooter, like a walker or a wheelchair or a scooter or whatever. Saw a really cool fucking powered chair today though that had those wheels on it. The front wheels had the sideways motion wheels. You ever seen those? Anyways, I'll show that in a
Find a
minute.
picture.
But anyways, so first of all, this lady was 25 minutes late, which for
That's the
people in their
Canadian
70s
government for you.
people in their 70s, she's a private person, a private friggin' contractor. Anyways, people in their 70s and 80s, not great waiters, right? So she finally gets there, and I had basically talked to the lady who greeted us while we were waiting and said, because she came over and said to Dad, "Are you excited? Are you excited to get a scooter?" And I'm like, "No, what are you doing?" So, anyways,
You just talk to him like he's a normal human being. Don't talk
oh
to
no,
him like
it wasn't even. I don't care how she talked to him. It's such that she, because if he latches on to this, I'm getting a scooter thing. My mom is not going to hear the end of it.
oh,
He's gonna lay into her. He's gonna like, I want a
'Cause he's
scooter.
not
I
gonna
want
get a
one, and all this stuff, right? So, anyways, I kind of pulled her aside and said, "Listen, this is the deal. I would, as far as I knew, that was the case, anyways." Then the lady gets there, this assessment lady, and she's an older lady too. She's probably in her 70s, 60s, 70s, and she was a complete friggin' boob. She wouldn't listen to the stuff we were saying, wouldn't let us when she would ask a question, I would start to answer, and then she'd interject with questions of her own. I'm like, can you let me finish? It was so maddening. And I pulled her aside too. I said, listen, this is the deal, and then it's like we never had that conversation. And she said, because I said to her, can you just, out loud when you're talking about the assessment, can you just say, we can talk next week once I've done my final assessment? Just because we wanted time to talk to my sister who's in Montreal and kind of come up with a game plan of how to handle this. And she comes into the office and Dad's there, and she basically just says, okay, I'm ready to make my recommendation now. I think you should get a walker. I'm like, were you not just in the room with me that we just had this conversation? Anyway, I was livid.
So you threw her out on her ear and said, "No me gusta."
And then my mom kind of frustrated me too, because she's like, I had done all this prep. I tried to prep these people to really pitch Dad for the non-motorized versions, and Mom's like, well, is she only going to talk about the wheelchair and nothing else? I'm like, Mom, I thought we talked about this. Anyways, so these wheels, they're really cool. So it's basically, picture like a ring, like a torus, and then bands that are wrapped around the tube, and it allows the wheels to actually go sideways.
Right.
Like they're not motorized or anything, but they roll.
What's it called?
So when you have your back, what's that?
What's it called? Do you know the name?
It was just like, I don't know. I didn't even look.
It's just a technology of the wheelchair.
I'm sure it was like $6,000 or $7,000 though, but just a regular scooter that my dad was riding today was like $3,500. Yes, Lance, it's Canadian dollars.
So it's like $7.
Yeah, something like that. 10.
10.
So with 10, including the tax. So if you had the tax on, it's 10. But anyways, it was really cool. This was the other one. It was like, so the back wheels can move, and it actually turns the front without them being on casters. Technology, man. Pretty fucking cool. Okay, Lance, what's your beef?
Well, no. So, my storage unit, I don't, so I have a storage unit, and my goal is to get it cleaned out. Well, I just got a text from Larry Lemke.
What?
He's like, hello from
is he a crypto billionaire now?
Yeah, he's like, hello from the Glue Bear. And I was gonna try to make it on tonight, but I am too tired. I'm gonna try for next week.
Oh man, I want to see if he's a crypto millionaire.
Yeah, but as long as it's like, he's like, so I'm gonna tell him, pop in and
I have a brag.
Quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Shoot.
We got new shirts made. I think they're fun.
Nice.
Cool
Nice.
picture.
Go on.
I mean, I don't have the best picture of it. It's just me holding one. I mean, and you kind of have to. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna talk about it and be done.
You can be happy.
Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not sharing the wrong thing. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I gotta open it in a different video because I don't want to see if any of it.
I'm making a new Be Creative shirt too.
Oh, cool.
Go on.
Using a local, I think I shared his graffiti a couple weeks ago, maybe. Anyways, local artist, pretty awesome.
Is this it right here? I think that's it.
Oh, you weren't here last week. I shared it on the Aldi Boom.
No, it was the
Pirate Boom.
Quiet you. The Aldi Boom will not be recognized.
Board games.
That makes my face hurt.
Oh,
I
wow.
know, but look at that.
So
I think that's pretty
cool.
dope. Dude, these are dope.
Yeah.
Makes my eyes feel like they're burning.
Yeah, that's the point.
Okay, why are you doing that? No, now that's making my eyes hurt.
I'm sorry. I am trying to stop it.
Mission accomplished. It looks cool.
I'm calling it the glitch shirt.
The glitch shirt, yeah.
Got
Glitch
it.
shirt.
Got it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
We printed like a like 100 of them.
So okay, so here my goal is that I want to get everything out of my storage unit before snowfall. So I basically have until like middle of November is usually when we start getting snow that sticks. So and it's a process of like what am I going to do with the stuff that's in there or whatever. But so one of the things that's the process is I had boxes of books in there. And so that was like me sorting through all my RPG books and everything like that and getting everything inside the house. And then getting some new bookshelves and getting those set up and running and, so on and so forth. So the thing about it is that these people, that run this thing, I swear they have just, it's a storage unit. You have to maintain it. You have to, other than like the fact that basically it's what a racket, right? In my opinion, admittedly, I use one, so I really can't complain. But it's like once you built it, there's no real maintenance that you have to do at all. It's maybe you
Probably
have
got a
to,
pest control, but yeah.
yeah, but maybe I'll tell you this much. Yes, so whenever it snows, they do have a plow or somebody that they have a service that
Plow the
plows
road.
out the snow or whatever around it. But the way they do it is the plow actually basically dumps the snow right in front of the doors. So you get there and there's like a 3 foot high pile of
drift.
snow in front of your door. And that you can't, and it isn't like it's like a little bit away. It's like right up against the door. So you have to basically bring a shovel with you, or you can't get the door open. And I've talked to them about it. I'm like, that's stupid. You need to change that. And they're like, yeah, we tell them to do it the different way. I was like, you don't tell them shit. You just like you don't care, But whatever. Well, the thing is that their ability to take payments has been down. Like they have a website for like the longest time. It was like go to the website, pay the money, move on with my life. Just whatever. And it's just like, and I was like, do you have an auto pay system? No, we don't have auto pay, but we do have. You can go to our website and you can pay on the website. Perfect. It's fine. So and then they are good. They send you an email and a text saying rent is due. Okay, pop on the website, pay it, move on with your life. Takes 5 minutes. Well, for like the longest time, for like 3 months ago, all of a sudden their website just couldn't take payments anymore. And I was just like, so we were like, well, we're working on it. We're working on it. If you submitted a payment, don't submit another one because we're trying to get it fixed. And, if you get the double dinged or whatever, and I had submitted my payment already, but the money didn't come out obviously because it wasn't working. And then they were like, just don't submit anything. We're gonna get it fixed. Don't worry about it. So it took forever. And then I was getting emails saying, you haven't paid your rent. We're gonna close down your locker and we're gonna take everything out of it and sell it at auction. And I was just like, and then I'm calling their number saying, what's going on with this? And like they won't answer the phone. You leave voicemails, they're not answering. I'm shooting them emails they want, and I realize that they probably have hundreds of people that are renting. They're probably asking the exact same question as us. And I even said, you have all our emails. Somebody write up an email and say what's going on and what you need to do, and then do it. And then, like, sure enough, like 3 days later, they sent out an email to everybody saying this is what's going on. We're sorry, we can't respond to everybody's emails. So it's been 3 months now, and they still haven't got it fixed. So when you want to pay, you have to call their office. Hope somebody answers the phone because even they say we're here from 8 to 4 every day, and this is our address. You can stop by. I when they wouldn't answer the phone, I went to that address. It was locked up. It was a ghost town. There was nobody there, and so I've been just losing my mind trying to get them to like do the right thing, and I finally got a hold of somebody today to pay. Like I called every single day in the month, and I finally got a hold of somebody, and I was like, "When are you going to get this fixed?" And they're like, "Well, we're hoping it's going to be like next." It's not our website. It's our payment processor isn't handling these right or something like that. I was just like, and I wanted to call bullshit on it because I worked in banking and I worked in merchant services, and it's no, there you don't have a problem with you didn't pay somebody that you have an account with or a contract with or whatever your merchant services bank is, you probably owe them money or something weird or whatever. That's the only reason I can think of was the fact, and because you owe them money for some reason or somehow, they won't like nobody else will. You can't switch to another provider to do it because they're going to be like, why aren't you doing this? Because you already. I don't know. It's just giant. It's a giant pain in the ass, and I'm fed up with it, and I just want to clean up my stuff and get the hell out of there. And then, totally unrelated to that,
And then is there like lots of competition in the field of storage units?
There's tons of them out here now. There's tons and tons and tons,
I mean,
right? But this one, literally, it's a 1 minute drive from my house. That's why I picked it. I mean, it isn't like I got to drive all the way across town to go get in my locker. It's like it's a 1 minute drive. But anyway, so the thing about it was that I had like I had one like I was taking all my, you know how like you kind of know the stuff you own but you don't know the stuff you own, and so I was going through my books and I was sorting them and I was sorting them, and all of a sudden one like I was like, you know, and Scott, you know, like my book Maze of the Blue Medusa, you know, it's like that weird, like they didn't print many of them, it's a really weird RPG book. It's like at one point it was worth a lot of money. Now it's like, you know, I went online. It's like you can get like $100 for it.
Well, they reprinted it, right?
No, they haven't because
they
of the
didn't
fact
reprint
that it was made by Zach and Patrick, and Zach got basically multiple, yeah, you know, the whole,
We don't need to get into it.
Yeah, we don't need to get into it. So basically it'll never get reprinted. You know, for you Google the name, if you want to figure out what's going on, you'll know why. So anyway, I was like, where is my copy of this? And I was like, this is insane. I can't believe I can't find this anywhere. And I was like, oh, it's got to be in one of my bookshelves of the house. No, it's got to be here. I was going nuts. I was like, and then I also was like, I'm also missing these things. Like, where are these things? And then finally, when I went over to I was like going to get some boxes out of the storage unit. There was a box in the corner, way in the back, that I picked up, and I could just tell it was full of books. And I was like, "Oh, I'll bet you $1 to do it. It's in here." So I found it, and that is a really pleasing feeling when you're like going, "What did I do with my stuff? Why can't I find my thing?" And then when you find it, if you could package that in a drug and like a little pill you could take, that feeling of relief when you find the thing, man, you'd have $1 million in like 3 seconds. But anyway.
Weeds does the opposite, and they do fine.
Yeah, no. So, but there we go. Anyway, I'm listening. Does anybody else have a grievance that they want to like?
Probably do. Let me think about it.
Pretty good. I'm pretty good.
How you been, Forrest? What's new?
Things are interesting with your assignments. It's getting cool. So, like what I've been doing for a while is kind of like being a secretary, right? Which was not my skill set or what I was hired for, you know? And I feel like my boss is totally like being like, man, we just need to find a better thing to do with you. And I was getting a little bit nervous because I'm actually going to be training someone to do something, to do part of my job starting tomorrow. I'm super excited because it's good. It's like the most tedious, like data entry, like secretarial kind of stuff that like, you know, it's necessary. 100% has to be done. But if someone else could do it, I can do other things. And my boss is like, I don't know what to do with you right now. So I want you to just try and do what you think will be most productive for a while. Like, so he pretty much just took me off the leash and was like, do what you want, man. and we'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there, like making videos and whatnot, hold outreaches. Like I'm gonna start like potentially sniping people. Like if I see like a Kickstarter, I'm like, man, your price really sucks. Like, why does your price really suck? Reach out to him personally, be like, hey, I see your manufacturer, you got a $34 game, you know, we could go here, we could like I think I could do that. Like, but he pretty much was just like figure out a way to bring in
So,
more
like,
money.
unsolicited
Well, yeah,
cold calls.
cold call. Yeah, strategic cold calls. Like I look at your Kickstarter and I say, hey, you know, I see it looks solid, but your price, it just seems so high. And I'm wondering if it's because you did this, that, the other thing, but you know, okay.
Hey, speaking of Kickstarters, I got a question for you.
Good luck.
I'm excited.
Would
What's-
you, when you're reviewing, when you're doing one of your Kickstarter review pages or videos, would you rather see all of the pledges, exploded views of all the pledges to showing all the components and everything, and then a summary breakdown of the pledge levels, or reverse that?
I feel like mixed together, right? Like,
Well, because a lot of people like to see that little kind of quick hit list, like, hey, the all-in includes this, 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 and this.
Right. I
The
think it
deluxe,
depends on what you have. Like if you don't have anything,
Sure.
like if you have like 465 cards, it's like, okay, I see that. Yeah, I could see that. I guess it depends on how long it is. As long as you get down to it quickly. Like,
yeah.
because I see some people who like really spread them out from each other, and I'm like, why is this
Well,
so
yeah,
far
I mean,
away?
so the one of the ones we're working on right now, it's for the expansion and second edition of Castlescape, and it looks like a really cool game, but there's a bunch of parts to it and stuff. So I figured give people the quick hit list so that they can make a, well, I think I want to get this thing, and then later on after that, and then you can go into like, hey, the deluxe includes all of these visual representation of these bits kind of thing, so that you can actually really delve down into it later on. That's my philosophy anyways.
I think as long as you get the price off early, like it's
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Good plan, Stan. Oh my goodness. I should go home.
Oh, so you people may have seen this on Facebook if you get advertising, if you look at advertising. Have you heard of these peeps?
Like peeps,
I
like the
have one at
marshmallow.
home.
No.
I have one at home.
Oh,
you
what
have
is
it?
that? What is
So
that, Scott?
It's an eyeglass cleaner.
Huh?
It's a self-cleaning eyeglass like, well, you push it in and it cleans itself off, but basically it's like a charcoal based clean. Like these are like little charcoal pads. And I was skeptical, but they work really, really well.
They work for
It gets-
about a couple of weeks.
and it wears out.
Mine did. I don't know.
So I lost my first copy, my first one, and then I found it. Where did it go? Now I've lost it again. So I got this red one that I'm like, I probably won't lose. I've got a black
Yeah,
one.
it's like
And
beacon
I'm like,
red.
I'm looking for like I found it cleaning my desk, and I'm like, oh, there they are. And so I bought another one. But so you didn't renew, you just
I
tossed
did
a bunch of-
not.
Oh yeah, but they're really good. And I guess
Yeah.
because since it's got like a
It cleans it when you put it back in.
it's like it's got like a little, I don't know, it's like a very, like, the pad in here has like texture.
Yeah.
So it cleans off the oils or whatever you pick up off the eyeglass cleaner. But it's
Excuse me.
and it's it has this little brush which I don't really use, but
Yeah, no, me neither.
like why, like I guess if you have dust on there or something, you could brush it.
Yes. I don't know.
So I have microfiber cloth, but I can't quite get the oils off. Like I've got a cloth addiction, cloth addiction. It's a brand name for microfiber. It's like a very good one.
Tell me more about your cloth addiction, Scott.
Cloth addiction. Ha ha ha. I probably need to wash it. I feel like cloth addictions need washing.
I find the best thing for my glasses. I mean, you got to be biased from running water, whatever. But I just put a little bit of dish soap between my.
Oh yeah,
my
no,
two-
that'll get the oil off too.
Oh man, it's like so.
But I don't have a dish
so
soap
clear.
on an airplane.
No, no,
Yeah, yeah, or wherever I,
absolutely.
like in a convention.
Absolutely, positively.
I know I do dish soap too.
But I have a
I'm an
microfiber
oily
cloth.
skinned person.
Me too.
I have a lot of oils, natural oils.
My pillow is disgusting.
Really?
Well, it's
It's
a
oily?
combination of my hair gel or my hair stuff
Okay.
and my oily
What
complexion.
product do you use for your hair? What's
DeFi. It's a pomade.
DeFi
D
pomade?
colon Fi.
Oh, B.
D like D is D colon Fi.
D is in dog.
Uh-huh.
Okay, DeFi. Oh, like defying gravity.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's different strengths of it.
So
I
is it
use
in like a shoe polish can,
yeah.
and you'd like get some? Yeah, I use a tea tree hair gel.
Oh, nice. That must smell nice.
It's got tea tree oil. It's
I love tea tree oil.
It's like what's his name? Paul Mitchell.
Oh yeah. Fancy.
I
Yep.
swear by tea tree oil, man. Fixes everything.
Tea tree oil fixes everything.
Anything.
I like tea tree oil.
So what is this? Three
Man, so I played some games this weekend.
Nice.
Played one good one and one bad one.
Oh, I got a bad game to talk about too after you.
That could be good. The rules just make it nigh impossible to play. We sort of just started like it was just so frustrating. Like everything we did, we like when you have the rule book and you go through all the rules and you actually watch a video and then you go playing it and you're like, how does this work?
Yep.
Rule book. How does this work? Rule book. How does this work? Rule book. So 92 rulebook lookups later, we stopped playing. And that, unfortunately, the name of that game was Temple of Horrors.
Temple of Horrors?
Temple of Horrors.
I'd play that game.
Yeah.
By Geo Chicks.
Yeah, and
the project was canceled. What?
No, it fulfilled.
No. They ran a game found and it was canceled.
Oh, they ran a game found. Maybe that was like a second. I mean, it really needs a rewrite of the rulebook. It's super cool though. It has a lot of cool things in it that I like. However, we could not. I don't know. Sometimes rules we bog down in them. Like we want to get it right. Like if something doesn't feel right,
no, that's not excuses. That's bullshit. You should not feel that way. It should because there's so many times where a half sentence can clarify.
I like smooth games, but this one was not smooth.
And it's extra bad in like campaign driven games. I'm doing one right now. Virahode, where it's just what
do you think of it?
I like the game, but the rule booklet is trash right now. Luckily, I'm gonna give them quite a few suggestions. Virahode.
How do you spell it?
Vrahode.
Yeah, and it reeks of not being blind play tested. And it's one of those ones where as a reviewer, the more I play it, the more I'm like, don't tell me you blind play. Don't even tell me. I don't even want to ask if you blind play tested because I just don't believe it. There's two potential rules questions that you will probably have on the first turn that instead of just answering in the regular spot where they teach you the game, it's in the situational stuff. They have line of sight as a situational rule. And it's what are you doing? No, this is it's just mind boggling. It was to the point that I was joking with my buddy Ronnie and he's there was this rule. It's they clearly should tell us which way it is. And then he was like, it's probably in the back buried. And it was, and it's one of those things where it's I don't know what to call it, but I feel like we all know what it is where you get to a rule booklet and it's 60-70% of it's really good. And then you get to that 30%, it just feels like an underneath the kid's bed where they just threw all the crap. But it's I don't know where we should put this. So it's all back here. You can find it. That's what it feels like. But gameplay wise, I think it's really solid. And
solid. It just needs polish.
Yes. Like, and I saw it too because I was playing it solo a little bit and I got to a solo game that was like 20 minutes and I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. That's it right there. I saw it. I'm excited. It's just you got to get there, but the system's good and like their big claim to fame is like the plastic tray, which is it holds everything. It's gonna go well. I did play a bad game though. I want to hear about your bad. Oh yeah, you
No,
said your bad
we
game.
played a banger game.
Yeah,
Like
what was the
really good.
banger?
Tamashi.
Tamashi. How do you
You
spell
know
that?
this? Came out and from Awakened Realms. Tamashi. Tamashi. Tamashi.
It's Awakened Realms. They
Yeah,
normally.
it's a. I know, and Awakened Realms is a hit or miss for me. This is a banger. It is a really good game, and I'm like, how did I miss this game?
Oh, this was under the Awakened Realms Light. I remember they did like one or two of
Yeah,
these, and they didn't seem to do too well.
It's not
Like,
one of those gigantic box games. Like it doesn't take a million years to learn and play. We were up and running within 5 minutes, and it's great. Like so it's a bag builder. So here's the thing. First of all, it's a cyberpunk theme, which I love. Like futuristic computer hacking, bot AI, and all that kind of stuff. Um, and the main mechanism is a bag builder with a match 3 slide puzzle, which sounds not good, right? Kind of probably doesn't sound great off the top of your but it's really, really good. And you're basically making patterns to pull off actions, like match 3 in a row or whatever. But there's more complexity than that. It's more than just 3 in a row. But 3 in a row is your basic block building, like three reds in a row, that kind of thing. And if you want to level up, you have to get 1 of every color in a row. So 4 in a row, 1 of every color. It's so good.
I remember I covered this one. It looked fun.
I'm like, man, it just jaw-droppingly good. Like I was stunned. I'm like, how can we have gone from? Well, here's the thing. I like Temple of Thor, what horror's idea is, but I didn't like the rules. Like the rule, just we couldn't get it to flow naturally.
Yeah.
Almost zero problems with Tamashi, even though it was pretty complicated. It's a complex game. It's a bag builder with lots of,
It's so many times. It's just like an extra sentence. It's extra like 4 or 5 words to just clarify many rules.
Yeah, the problem is like Temple of Horrors like reinvents a lot of things. Like that you kind of know in dungeon games that.
You can do that then. You know what you need?
Yeah,
you just need a massive player reference.
Yeah, it was just, and then here's the problem with the Temple of Horrors, like no one's playing it, no one's talking about it. So I'm like, oh great, so I can't answer any of the questions we had.
That's the worst.
Just like we're stuck.
Yeah, so play to the reviewer there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because there's a good game in there. Just needs to be like heavily, developed. The core game was super cool. Tamashi is a killer game. Like if you can find it, I don't know if it's like cheaper now because it's no longer. I mean, it only recently came out too. Like it's not that old.
I'm sure Awakened Realms will support it.
But here's the thing: it's also not a million-year campaign. Like it's standalone, like missions. So you do it's a mission game. You play through a bunch of cards that tells a story, and you're done. And you start from 0 and you get, 0 to hero. You start from nothing and you unlock stuff. You unlock more technologies and more maps and you can play different types of games with different pieces of the game. So it's really, really good. It's basically like a 10 for me.
Very cool.
Wow. That's some strong words.
Yeah, it is.
I want to go the exact opposite and talk about a game that was so astonishingly mediocre. Like it breaks Lance's rule of 90% of the games get the fucking job done. This one didn't do it.
This one did no job.
It didn't fucking do it. Like it got to the point like, are we fucking missing a layer here? Like this game is boring as shit. Everyone at the table hated it. Like we're like mocking it. Like round 4 out of 6. Like what the hell is this? Like one of those times where you're passing around the rule book, like we surely are missing something.
You missed
so bad.
Yeah.
Quartz the dice game. I don't know why it exists.
I know the dice game.
Quartz the dice game. So Quartz came out years ago from that I think it was Red Ravens. No, not Red Ravens. It was that one that they had some games they went out. But yeah, there was a dice game, and it's released by Lucky Duck. And it's just I played it tonight, and I was reading the rules, and I was like, when you read the rules, you're like, man, I don't see the game just yet, and you're like, I'm sure I'll figure it out when I get it. It just never popped up, and I was like, it was the most tedious, like it just was flavorless vanilla oatmeal of like, because it's got a Yahtzee mechanism where it's like you're just rolling dice to try and get the most gems, but people are stealing gems, and you don't give a fuck because the game is so goddamn boring. And it's I'm gonna play it with my family before I do a review of it. But oh man, like if my kids are like, I'm going. I'm excited for my review because I'm like, I don't know who this is for. Like this is one of those few times where I can't even imagine why this was the one. Because it's not an inexpensive game. Like they got plastic on it so you can see the dice and custom dice, and it's just compared to it's just blah. Quartz
Oh, well.
dice game.
I kind of remember Quartz being sort of like desirable. Like I remember kind of remembering I wanted to check it out.
Me too. Me too. I was excited for this game too. It seemed so simple. I was like, oh, cool, stealing gems. But then we played it, and it was like, there's just nothing here. Nothing.
Yeah.
Remember the
I just flashed to Chris Farley. Remember when you were in that movie?
Oh, it was
not
Passport.
a-
Passport Game Studio.
Passport Game Studio. Yes. That's it.
there you go. Yeah.
With
Remember
Yeah,
Go
Nautilus.
ahead.
3 Wishes. God, they begged. They remember that. Oh my gosh. That was
Three
such
Wishes?
that was a solid micro game. Man, you remember the
That
micro
was a
game?
good. That was a good game.
It was a good micro game. Let's put that
A good
caveat
micro
there.
game. Sure.
Yeah.
It passed the time.
Remember that was a
when
craze?
Nations, which I think is one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
They came out with that Nations dice game, and it was
That game is good.
that is horrible.
No, it's good. I'd
No,
rather play that.
No, you are
I-
so
I-
wrong.
Well, it's not Nations, but it is. I feel it was good in its own right. You're being too harsh on it. It's a fun game. Well, for
Dominant
me, it
Species.
was fun.
Dominant Species, one of my very few tens. Dominant Species, the card game. That game was garbage. I mean, Chad Jensen,
Was that Chad?
may he rest in peace. Just
Yeah.
I
We
was
lost-
like, how? I was just like, how? I was just sitting there, this game is horrible. I was just like, I don't. I mean, it was one of those like Forrest. You put it perfectly. It was one of those games where it's like you were like, what? You go back and you read the rules again because you're like, I'm missing something.
Yeah.
I'm
Didn't
not,
get to me like this, right? Like what?
Yeah, I'm not following this correctly. This is you go back and read the rules. Where did I screw up? Where did I make my error? Yeah. I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling of like, all right, obviously I screwed something up here. So let's go back and look. Yeah, I don't know.
So did you guys know Holmes on BGG? Holmes, Holmes, with an exclamation point. Holmes.
Maybe.
He died this week.
Oh,
He was. It took a while. It took a while. He had brain cancer. It took about a year. Yeah, it was really sad. Yeah, he didn't. He fought it. Yeah, another gamer. I feel like it's happening far too often.
Yeah, no kidding.
I thought you might have known him. He was kind of in the BGG realm of like forum board guy, and he was like a punk rocker. He knew. I think he was in like a band, but he was like a barber. Was his job. Really interesting guy. Anyway.
That's sad.
No,
Yeah.
it is sad. I mean, it's just, but that's
Kabuki. Oh, maybe Kabuki knew him. Well, you probably knew him on the forums and stuff. Maybe not in real life, but
as my grandfather said, the older I get, the more my calendar fills with funerals.
Yeah.
Tell you
I've been
what.
getting lots of notices from people too, like forum people dying. That I don't know them, but to let me know to put the memorial badges on, because we have like a in memoriam part of the website, which is sort of not fun.
Hey. It's life.
Yep.
Nobody gets out alive.
There was an interesting conversation. It's not related to dying, but potentially related to dying. What do you do with these thousands and thousands of games?
Hope that
Well,
works
one
out.
guy that Lance was talking to is going to take them with him.
Oh, he is. Where's he going?
Oh, that guy? Yeah, that guy is great. That guy was just a troll. Like, again, on a Facebook group that will not be named, somebody was like, "Hey, I got all this stuff. Do I have enough games?" And I said, "You need to just sell the stuff you're never going to play, $10 a box, and just get rid of it, and just be." And because literally, I made a mint the first time I did that, and I sold like 500 games, and it was just like because people couldn't believe their good luck in getting it. It was over the course of a weekend, and I got rid of them all.
Yeah.
And then some guy said, "Are you serious? Like I'm basically gonna like mark my stuff off 80% so somebody else can enjoy them. I would burn my games before I do that."
Oh,
And I was just like, so
all right.
I was like, yeah, that's ridiculous. You would rather burn something before somebody else would enjoy it. Yes. All right, you're just a troll. Just you're an idiot. See you later. I no.
Well,
People are
yeah.
just
Well,
dumb and stupid like that.
I talked to Holmes about a year ago, and I told him I would help whoever had the games when he died. That we would help them out with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just going to be a more common thing now, as we all get older.
Well,
With
yeah. I mean, hey,
massive
we lost one of our
transactions.
own, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, I've
Certainly did.
lost quite a lot of weight since well, I also had another guy who's actually younger than me die. Like or that week, same week too. Like hopefully it's the springboard to some better, healthier choices.
Well,
Anthony and his hamster computer will
I
slowly
know
but surely log in here.
there's Turd Ferguson. But it was just not an interesting dilemma, but it's a dilemma. There's a guy wanting to put his daughter through college, and he has 2,500 board games to sell, and he wants to sell them all at once. Have you seen that post on BGG?
No.
Okay. And there's a conversation springing up around there. Noble Knight was mentioned, of course, and then also just donating them, but I think he kind of wants the money
Money's nice.
for
Very
the
nice.
for the college,
Yeah, college is good for kids,
College good, money nice.
I sold almost my entire game collection when I got married.
I remember you telling me about that.
Remember that? And that was a while ago.
Anthony.
20 years.
Memories.
What's up?
Hey. What's going
on
on?
the corners of my
Had me
Are you
to
at-
12. I don't know why.
Are you at home?
Misty
Yeah.
watercolor memories.
Okay, well.
Okay.
I
And
want to talk about what giant
the
game collection.
way we were. Hello, Anthony.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going.
You a little froggy?
Yeah, just people in general just piss me off.
Feeling froggy? You want to jump?
No, I just detected like a little frog in your throat.
Oh. My voice.
Yeah, your voice.
Yeah, I don't know. Been a long day.
It's been a
Let's
long.
play initials.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some ice water first. Damn.
Good to have priorities.
I'm hoping that other one of me drops off. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Anthony played Paris Paris Agreement with me the other night?
I enjoyed it.
The super heavy Euro that we're gonna publish.
What's the deal with that game with the cults at the end of the world thing? Where's that one?
The Prophets of Doom, or the
Where's that one in the year long?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like a what's what we're looking for here? It's kind of a it's our cross to bear. Let's just put it that way, because it's a game that it's done. It's completely done. All the artwork's done. We just can't find, like, other stuff just keeps like getting put in front of it, as far as stuff that we're working on or whatever. And it's yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because it's a fun game. The problem is that as fun as it is, it's not something that will yeah, it's just not. I mean, like, what's gonna, like, that or Champions of Midgard Anniversary, what's gonna make us the most money, that kind of thing. So it's one of those things where we're just spinning our wheels on it, and it sucks because the guy's been waiting many years for us to do something with it, and he's being very patient about it, and which is awesome. But it's also, like I said, it is our cross to bear on that one, and hopefully we can get it taken care of, and we can get him taken care of, and we can publish the game.
Well, Evan will be here in a few minutes. You can just tell him personally.
It is not him. I'm not like trying to obfuscate and share it, or for any reason. It's just it's not for me to share.
Of course it's not.
It's not for me to share.
Yes. But anywho.
So not only did I play that game, Lance left out the part where I beat him mercilessly.
Yes, beat me about the face and neck, and it's fine.
It's a good game.
It's fine. It needs some seasoning, and we'll get the seasoning done.
Little tweaks here and there.
But right now, we got the new dice campaign coming out, and then Champions Anniversary Edition that we're working on. So,
And Lance, how long before that other game I play with you is that looking? Next year?
Yeah, that's next year.
Okay.
So, anyway, I'm excited, and I wanna do some initials.
All right.
I don't
So
know what the rest of you.
Wait, is Evan coming? That
Oh,
was that a joke that he's coming soon?
It was a joke.
Oh,
I have no
Never
idea
mind.
what's coming.
never mind.
What?
Let's see if Evan is around. Evan is not on Facebook right now. All right, let's get started. Tonight's initials are A, S. A is an apple.
Anthony
S is in Sam.
Saccano.
That's it.
A.S.
I have
A, S?
15 items. No, I have 16 items.
I have 15 commandments.
10 commandments.
I'm confident you guys will get 15 of these.
Okay, not 16.
Well, you should get
Anthony
16.
Saccano is one of them. So I mean,
You should
that's
get
obviously
16. So, okay, here we go. Item number 1.
okay.
First clue. Originated in 1944. Clue number 2. Gained popularity in 1981.
Lance.
Lance.
Army surplus. Oh.
Clue number 3. Ceased to exist in 2013.
Ooh.
Well, sorta. Clue number 4. Can be linked to smoking and genetics.
Matt,
Matt?
arterial sclerosis.
Good
Ooh.
guess, though.
Good guess.
Clue number
Nobody
5.
said good guess for mine.
Your guess blew.
Clue number 5.
I'll murder you.
In 2015, it was estimated that 37.2 million people globally suffer from it.
Oh, damn it.
Forrest.
Forrest.
Asperger's syndrome.
Asperger's syndrome is correct.
Boom! Take it to the bank. Who's in the lead? This guy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Item number 2. Clue number 1. Although history suggests it dates back to the 6th century BC, it's probably closer to 1931. Clue number 2. Associated with asterisks. Clue number 3. Often just referred to by the second word.
Aldi?
Aldi?
Anglo-Saxons?
Good guess.
Horrible guess. Horrible guess.
Eh.
Clue number 4. In sports, it's part of a common 3-letter acronym. Clue number 5. Its cousin helps people breathe.
That's clue
What?
number 5.
That's clue number 5.
It's gonna be real good. It's gonna be juicy.
Final clue. Associated with Barry Bonds, Jose Canseco,
Forrest.
and Forrest.
Damn it. Lance.
Oh, Matt.
Wait, Forrest is first, then Lance, then Matt. So Forrest.
Come on,
Anabolic-
5, 4.
Anabolic steroids.
God damn it.
Anabolic
You're supposed to
steroid.
set the countdown. You can't. I was bringing in when he. Oh, man. That should be my
Oh
point.
man. Oh, I should have been. Yeah, I should have been, man.
You guys were talking while he was trying to think about it.
That is true. Lance was.
Interference.
Just
Interference.
Lance.
Call. I call interference.
I didn't even get the call on Forrest, and you guys were all yelling. All right, here we go. Item number 3. Clue number 1. Originated in 1918. That's 1918. Clue number 2. Assassinated on live TV in 1981.
Lance.
Lance.
Anwar Sadat.
Anwar Sadat is correct.
Who is that?
I didn't
You
know
guys
those
just
were
make clues for
words.
each other.
He was the president of Egypt.
That's not a real
Associated-
place.
Associated with Camp David, won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979, third ever president of Egypt.
So, like, literally, they were doing a military parade in front of him, and the people that assassinated him, like, basically used the parade as cover to race in, and they were just like,
They killed
and he was-
11 people on the podium.
yeah, and the podium was armored, and they just ran up with machine guns. They were dressed in full battle uniforms, so they looked like they were part of the parade. They ran up. They were just throwing grenades, shooting like machine guns, and like when Anwar Sadat got hit, to protect him while these guys were like shooting, they like covered his body with chairs. They were trying to like cover his so he couldn't get shot again. And they actually, it was like one of the very first times ever they said, we're going to show, because it was a parade, they had cameras there, and the nightly TV said, we're going to show the camera that like, and it was one of those things where it was like, now of course cameras are everywhere and we see all these horrific things, but this was a situation where like they actually had it, and there was like you know, it was they showed the violence of the situation. Like there's a guy that's like walking and because they were throwing grenades and stuff, there's a guy who's like he has his arm in his other hand and he's walking around in a daze. It was on and they said, we warn you, don't have the children in the room. Here's the feed or whatever. It's anyway. Sorry. Just a
All right.
tidbit of the world.
Item number 4. Born in 1875. Clue number 2. Doctor, musician, writer, philosopher, and theologian. Clue number 3. Portrayed by Malcolm McDowell in 1990. Clue number 4. Won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1952. Clue number 5. As a Lutheran minister, challenged both historical and traditional views of Jesus.
I got no idea.
Final clue. This famous German is known to many by name, but nobody knows what he's actually done.
Lance. Adolf Hitler.
No.
Daryl's cousin, right?
Anybody?
Was that the final clue?
That was the final clue. This is the one I didn't think you guys would guess after I wrote it out.
Matt?
Matt?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's incorrect.
Ooh,
A, not
still-
German. B, never won a Nobel Prize.
Baldy?
No,
He
no,
wasn't
no.
also was not born in 1875.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure it was Adolf Hitler.
No, it's Albert Schweitzer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that name.
Everyone knows the name. No one
I
knows
know the
why
name, but
they
I don't know
that
who he
name.
is.
I didn't know the name.
Okie dokie. Here we go.
Not happening.
Item number 5. Clue number 1. It's okie dokie in all of Canada.
Okie dokie.
Clue number 2. Often associated with dignity. Clue number 3. Was a popular news and talk show topic in the 1990s. Clue number 4. Al Pacino portrayed the man who became the face of this in a 2010 movie. Clue number 5. Secobarbital is most commonly used to achieve it.
What?
Secobarbital is most commonly
Lance.
Alding.
Lance.
I think I called him before you.
I think
called him.
Aldi got.
I heard
got
Aldi
it.
first.
No, I said it first.
Go.
Go back to the tape.
I think I got it in there.
Go to Kabuki.
I'm pretty sure it's me.
I didn't even hear you.
That's because I didn't say my name.
Kabuki, officiator of reality. The adjudicator of the world of specificity. Okay, she said even though I was first, she's gonna give it to Aldi because
I've forgotten what it is. Go for it. Don't know. I don't. I said altered state, but I don't think that's right.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
Lance. Assisted suicide.
Assisted suicide is correct.
Did he play Kevorkian?
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there we go. Item number 6. Loosely associated with meatloaf.
Singer or the food?
loosely associated with meatloaf.
Oh, I love a good meatloaf. When the edges are burned, oh, that's the end piece.
Oh,
it's
my
Clue
mother-in-law.
Clue number 2. Calculated using pressure and flow. Clue number 3. They were heard everywhere from 1979 to 1983.
Lance.
Aldi. Damn it. I don't
That
think
time
it-
I heard Lance first.
Yeah.
Air Supply.
Lance?
Ooh,
Air Supply is correct.
good song.
Oh, I
Good
knew
band.
it. I knew
Consists
it.
of 2 Russells, formed in Melbourne, Australia in 1975, and here they are, the ones that you love, asking you to say their name.
Yeah, I one of the most annoying people I've ever known in my life was just this giant Air Supply fan and I knew him in college. God, whatever happened to that guy? He was annoying.
Do you know that one, Aldi?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel bad now.
I'm
It was like half a second. 2
Yeah,
minutes.
so
I'm
their
so lost
second
without
biggest
you.
hit was written by what?
By Meatloaf?
Exactly.
I didn't know
Am I
that.
back?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
back.
We see you.
All right. The Meatloaf thing with their second biggest hit was written by the same guy who wrote all of Meatloaf's big hits.
Oh, really? Hmm.
There you go. Here we go. Item number 7.
Small world.
Clue number 1 is part Cherokee. Clue number 2 appeared in Adam Sandler's movie Mr. Deeds. Clue number 3 was James Brown's tour manager from 1973 to 1980.
I feel good.
Clue number 4, he's known for keeping it real every day. Clue number
Matt?
5, Matt.
Adam Sandler?
That was a bad guess. Sorry, I said Adam Sandler's name.
Did you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
Mr.
like-
D.
that was like the second.
See, that's what I
clue.
got. That's what I got. Anyways, I'm multitasking.
Okay. Clue number 5. In 1988, famously got shoved to the floor by fellow panelists on a talk show.
Oh.
That.
Final clue. He is most known for being a civil rights and social justice advocate despite his sometimes controversial tactics.
Oh my God! Why can't
Aldi.
Goldie.
Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton is correct.
I like that one.
I saw his face. It was like right there.
There we go. Item number 8.
Keeping it
God.
real.
Dang it!
That's the name of his radio show, Keeping It
Is
Real.
it?
with Al Sharpton.
He's on Morning Joe a lot.
Yeah, he is.
He's lost a lot of
Okay,
weight.
here we
too.
go.
It's crazy.
He has.
He's incredibly skinny now.
Here we go. Item 8. Number 1. Associated with turning and rolling.
Turning and rolling.
Clue number 2. Associated with missteps. Clue number 3. Associated with ice and elevation. Clue number 4. Occurs yearly in 5 of every 1,000 people in the United States.
Can you repeat that?
Occurs what? Occurs what?
Can I repeat that? Occurs yearly in 5 of every 1,000 people in the United States. Clue number 5. While generally occurring during sports or other strenuous activity, it happens to people stepping off of curbs all the time.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Ankle sprain?
Ankle sprain is correct.
Wow.
Only because I've done it. That's the only thing that got me there.
I was like, sitting there, when you said ice, I was like, avalanche survivor? Just like,
What were the clues again? Yeah, I don't know.
Yes,
Oh,
turning and rolling.
1 in 1,000 people. Yeah.
5 out of every 1,000
5 out of every
people
1,000.
in the United States sprain their ankle at least once a year. Okay, here we go. Item number 9. Clue number 1. Originated in Trenton, New Jersey.
Trenton.
Clue number 2. In 2016, in 2016, their death from natural causes without an autopsy spurred numerous conspiracy theories that they were murdered. Clue number 3. 2 of their best friends from work are from the other side of the aisle.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Antonin Scalia.
That's it.
I almost rang in last turn.
First Italian American to hold the position. Avid
With the
opera
same
fan.
answer?
He and his best friend Ruth are the subject of a 2015 opera named after them. Here we go. We got a game. Item number 3. Item number 10. Clue number 1. NYU alumni.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Adam Sandler.
Good guess.
What an
early.
idiot. What an
Too
idiot.
early. How to do it. Sometimes you got to go for it.
Amen.
What?
Clue 2. Delivered the 2012 Class Day speech at Harvard University.
Pretty sure this one's Adolf Hitler.
Clue number 3. Appears in the Sleater Kinney video for No Cities of Love.
Massively overrated band. Ugh.
No, they're great.
Massively overrated.
I don't even know who they are.
They're so dumb.
Exactly.
Appropriately
You should-
rated.
All right.
Appropriately rated.
Clue number 4. One of the writers of the Holy Roller comic book. Clue number 5. He is part of a lonely island.
Force
Matt.
Forest.
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg is correct.
Damn it.
I have no. I mean, I know who that guy is. I don't know anything about him.
SNL alumni starred in the hit series Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
You should Google some of the Lonely Island music videos.
They're good.
They're pretty
You
fun.
Google it. You're so funny.
I'm on a boat, yo. All right, here we go. Item number 11. Originated in Tysons, Virginia and Glendale, California. Clue number 2. Over 530 worldwide. Clue number 3. Appeared in several viral videos involving theft.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Apple Store.
Apple Store is correct.
Jeez, all these.
And the
are
next
fun.
clue was
Brain is on tonight for some reason.
despite the name, you don't need to have an IQ over 140 to work there.
Do I have any?
Matt, I don't believe you have any.
I look forward to Aldi having to make one of these.
All right.
Drop a couple here.
We can't tell him how close the scores are. So
What's-
he doesn't start dragging. Here we go. Item number 12. Clue number 1. Associated with sex and drugs and rock and roll. Clue number 2. Associated with venom. Clue number 3. Associated with DC and Marvel. Clue number 4. Appeared in the worst Star Wars film and the best Star Wars TV show. Clue number 5. Has played 2 apes and a bear.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis is correct.
Yeah, I got nothing.
What was he in the worst Star Wars film?
He's
I don't even know. Yeah,
he's Smoke.
Oh, Snoke.
Snoke.
He's Snoke, and he's also in Andor.
I wouldn't say that's the worst Star Wars film personally, but I hear you.
Okay, here we go. Item number 13. 14.3 degrees south and 170.7 degrees west. Clue number 2. At the 2016 Republican National Convention, stated they were the greatest exporter of NFL players. Clue number 3. Associated with Tulsi Gabbard. Clue number 4. Actor Eric Stoltz spent a good part of his childhood there.
Lance.
Lance.
Oh. American Samoa?
American Samoa is correct.
Oh,
Nice.
my God.
Population is about 44,000 people on its 77 square miles.
I was, because, Aldi, you're up by 2, and I was just like,
Oh, you had to get one to get.
I had to get one.
have to make it.
Well, no, to win, I have to run the table to win. So, I mean, and I didn't want to guess wrong.
I got 3 more. I got 3 left.
Oh, okay.
Whew.
Here we go. Item number 14. Clue number 1 is 43 years old. Clue number 2, involved in a train wreck in 2015. Clue number 3, came in 4th on Last Comic Standing's 5th season. Clue number 4, their second cousin, once removed, is a big opponent of Donald Trump. Clue number 5, during quarantine, hosted an 8-episode show for Food Network where they learned to cook from their chef husband. Lance?
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer is correct.
Ugh.
2 to go. Here we go. Item 15, clue number 1. Associated with venom.
Another Venom.
I like things that have the same clues. Clue number 2. Associated with latex. Clue number 3. Associated with swelling. Clue number 4. Onset can take minutes or seconds.
I know this, but I can't. I don't know what it is.
I know it too.
Aldi.
Aldi?
Anaphylactic shock.
Anaphylactic shock
I
is
didn't know the
correct.
first word. Damn it.
I knew the first word. I didn't know the second word. I couldn't
It's
think of the
triggered
second
by your
word.
immune system releasing chemicals that cause your blood pressure to drop and your airways to close.
I was like anabolic.
Anaconda.
Anaconda.
I had
Okay,
anaconda in my mind, but
Here we go.
I couldn't make it work.
Here is the last item.
Oh.
Clue number 1. Number 4 in 1999. Clue number 2. Often involves voting.
Voting or boating?
Voting. The voting. Clue number 3. In its most common use, it is hyphenated.
Matt,
Matt?
All-Star?
All-Star is correct.
God
Nicely done, Matt.
bless. God, no.
The next
God
clue was
bless us
associated
all.
with Chuck Taylor. Clue number 5 was the
I would have
NFL.
got it with Chuck Taylor.
Clue number 5 was the NFL.
Way to back
Academy.
into the victory there, Aldi. Way to back
I
into
don't
it.
Thank you
think
very much.
so.
Thanks, Matt.
I did have a tiebreaker.
Oh,
In case.
what's the tiebreaker? Lance could tie, right? If he gets the tiebreaker.
All right, here. Clue number 1 of the tiebreaker. First name is Carl. Second clue was thrown out of the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Oh, what the fuck's his last name? Matt?
Matt?
Alfalfa Smith?
Nope. His last name is Schweitzer.
No.
Alfalfa Schweitzer. Carl
not.
Alfalfa
Who's
Schweitzer.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
Little Rascals.
Oh, that's his name. What his real name was?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a Schweitzer as well. Jeez.
That is hilarious.
All right,
Well, everybody's just like, "Oh, way to go, Aldi! Way to go, way to go!" When I win, everybody's.
I
just
hardly
like,
ever win. I don't think I've won in a year or years.
Oh, whatever. You need to come up with 15.
15.
15 next week. Make it happen.
You have to remind me.
I'm not going to remind you. You remember. You as the champion, you remember. You're always like Alexa, remind me of this. You can do that.
I don't do that. I don't use Alexa anymore. Turns off.
Just have one of your cronies do it for you. Send it out in the Discord. I need someone to come up with.
I'll
see what I can do.
Lance is devastated.
I know. Brutal.
Lance, if you had like a towel, you'd have like over your head to hide your tears. The disappointment.
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter.
You're
I
a Vikings
feel
fan.
it-
You
well-
should be used to this.
In all fairness, I feel like Scott did well, but I feel like Lance really lost that one.
He threw it out.
Yeah,
It was his game to lose.
you know.
You're a real miserable prick, aren't you, Forrest?
Matt's the one who screwed him
It
over
was a
by
spoiler.
chiming in.
Hey, I
Yeah,
got a solid
yeah, he
3.
did.
I was very
Yeah, he did.
respectable tonight.
He was all like Kingmaker Matt. That's what it is. Kingmaker Matt. I didn't realize I had to go against everybody else to make it happen. That's fine. That's fine. It just makes my ultimate wins that much more amazing. You know, whatever.
All right.
Hey.
I gotta go home. I have to go home.
Oh, then he leaves. Then he leaves.
Lance, you know what this means, though, right?
He puts the crown on his majesty's head and then he leaves.
You know what this means, though, Lance?
What?
We get to go head to head next week.
Oh, great. As it should be.
Good game, Anthony. Thank you for doing that.
No
Yeah,
problem.
thanks.
Yep,
Thanks,
good game.
Anthony.
Yup.
And I was right. I said, oh, you'll get 15 of the 16.
Well, we didn't get Barry Schweitzer.
Albert Schweitzer.
Albert Schweitzer.
Who's Barry
you would've
Schweitzer?
got. You would've got.
Barry Schweitzer is the coach of the Dallas Cowboys
Okay, I knew that name from somewhere.
after Jerry
Barry Switzer.
Jerry Jones. Yeah, Switzer.
That's
He
the same
won-
last
he
name as
won-
Alfalfa.
After back-to-back Super Bowls, he won the third one for the Cowboys by just. It was a good team. You didn't have to do anything. They fired what's his name? Jimmy Johnson.
Did all our teams actually win?
Did what?
I'm trying to think. Did all our teams actually win?
All your teams?
Dolphins won. Vikings
I
won.
didn't.
Cowboys won. Oh, Cowboys, right. Broncos suck.
Yeah, yeah.
No Bronco. Vikings
mean,
win. Who
they
did the
did.
Vikings play?
Giants.
What are you playing?
Nothing. I'm just trying to find something on my computer or on my
Oh.
TV. Vikings won.
Giants?
They
Looks like
beat
it's
the Giants. Yeah, they were horrible.
Thank you. I was hoping the Jets would win just to kind of make it interesting. They did not.
No, they did not. But Aaron Rodgers.
Eagles game was good though. Eagles Packers game was good.
There were a lot of good games this week.
Yeah, it was. Well, I only watched the two, and then I turned on Monday Night Football, and I'm like, I could watch all this, but I think I know they're not going to win. And then once the score got too far, I looked up the score, and I'm like, oh, that's the game. So Tom Brady called the Cowboys game.
He's horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but you know how much money he's
Greg
getting
Olson
for
was
that?
so much better.
You know what his salary is?
It's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. I'm like, what? Don't you have to like prove that you can do the job first before you do the job? Before you
No,
get the
because
job?
people are going to tune in because it's Tom Brady.
Let me see. I looked it up. It was something like 120 million.
It was not a small amount of money.
All right, good night,
Which
everybody.
money was before the game?
No, it was a 10-year, 375 million. I'm like, what? 10 years, 775 million. Yeah,
You better hope he's amazing.
$37.5 million a year.
He's not.
See you, Matt.
See, Matt. Well, good for him. I mean,
I will say
he looks good. I had to say he looked good.
Well, I will say I think I said it to Lance in a text message. The Iron Eagle son is amazing. He's 27 years old, and the kid is freaking amazing at calling games. He called the Eagles game. And listening to his voice, you wouldn't think he's a 27-year-old kid.
was he special?
No, he's got a very good announcer voice.
So yeah, he is special. I mean, if he's 27, crushed it like that. I mean,
Well, I mean, I don't know when his father started because he was local here before anyone else knew who the hell he was. Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle? That was a great
His
movie.
name is Ian, like Ian, but pronounced Ian. And his last
I know
name
what you're
is
talking about.
What wasn't the guy in 90210 Ian? What was it?
Ian Ziering, yeah.
Ziering.
Yep. From Sharknado fame.
Sharknado fame. Is that why how he's famous?
Well, that's how most people know him now.
I remember as Steve, the guy with all the money. He was like the rich kid.
Was he really that rich?
I mean,
Did you watch 90210?
Oh,
I loved 90210.
Ian Ziering.
Yeah. I watched all of 90210 almost. I think I watched every episode.
All right, so this makes some more sense. I just looked up at Iron Eagle when he started. He's only 55 years old, and he's been broadcasting since 1992. So like
Oh, really?
right out of college.
Boom goes the dynamite. You
It's
remember that
good
guy?
work if you can get it. I mean, announcing seems like it would be like, I don't know, it would be stressful, like getting the number right or whatever. I always wondered, did they got those guys in their ears? I always wondered, like, do they say it was number 76? His name is Ernest Jones or whatever, and got the tackle or whatever. I mean, do they have like somebody who's doing like the spotting? Because like the stats and the weird things like that, where they're like, you know, oh yeah, well, of course he's gonna do that. His father was a freight elevator worker. I mean, it's just like that's got to be somebody piping into their ear and saying, okay, this is what you're gonna say about him or whatever. Here's your little factoid. I mean, I guess I just believe that's the case. I don't know that for sure.
My favorite thing now is Frank Caliendo keeps releasing these clips of Pat Summerall and John Madden calling plays from like from games, current games.
Okay.
And it's freaking hysterical because like, you see over here what happened here, Pat, was Mahomes going to go out of bounds and then he decided not to when he went in and boom, he's in the end zone.
So the college guy, Keith Jackson, there's like the famous, I think I've told this story. I've had to have told this story, but there's the famous call where, and he would like go and talk to the students and he'd learn all these little facts of everything. And there was a pretty famous call from like a college game and like, some guy breaks free, a running back or whatever, or kick returner. And he's like, he's at the 40, he's at the 30. He was born in a taxi cab, just like 10 touchdown.
All right. So Iron Eagle, the father, at 28.
Great movie.
At 28 or
No,
27
it's not good.
Lou Gossett Jr.,
No.
baby.
Not good.
How did they defeat the evil terrorists? With rock and roll being played in their ears while they piloted their Iron Eagles. Anyway, you were saying?
I said he was only 27 years old when he started doing the Nets games. The father. So there you go.
Was there like 3 Iron Eagle movies, I think?
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Can't keep a good.
It was not good.
It was. What are you talking about? You're gonna be like, oh, Airwolf wasn't good.
It
Never
wasn't.
watched it. There you go. You're on your own with Airwolf.
Oh,
I never saw it.
a box of
Lance?
Mars for the
Lance?
person. No,
There
hey,
were 4 Iron Eagle movies.
Wow.
and there should have been 6,
No.
and a prequel. No,
Well,
I was gonna
they
say
picked up the Top Gun slack, right? Like Top Gun could have
Oh
made
yeah.
more, and they didn't.
So a box of Mars bars to the person that can tell me the name of the lead of
Kid?
Airwolf.
Oh, oh yeah, it was like Michael Van something. Jan Michael.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Jan Michael
Michael
Vincent. And
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine. Thank you, baby. The only Airwolf episode I remember was when the computer that ran Airwolf gained sentience, and it took Airwolf like so high it like almost reached orbit, like almost went into outer space, and Jan Michael Vincent was dying as he was, and it was one of those things where it was like, but here's the question: what was Jan Michael Vincent's character's name? And I loved this name so much as a kid And I named a D&D. I named a D&D Ranger after him. I took the exact name and I named my Ranger this exact same name. You'll know, if you don't know, you don't know.
I don't know.
Stringfellow Hawk was his name.
yeah.
Stringfellow Hawk.
Native American.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Hey, I have a question. Are you guys gonna watch Agatha All Along?
no,
Why?
I'm kind of out on Marvel. It just
Done on Marvel? What about Batman or the Joker, whatever it's called?
Oh yeah, I'll go see that.
Penguin.
I'll watch that.
The Penguin, the show.
Yeah.
There's a Penguin show.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Okay. And you're gonna go see Joker too?
Yeah, I'll go see the next Joker.
Did you see the first Joker in the movies?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I saw it on. I rented it. It's. I don't know.
I mean,
it didn't do anything for me.
It was the weird thing about it was just kind of like a the allegory to why can't I think of the name? The De Niro movie about the stand-up comedian. Saturday Night Guy.
King of Comedy.
The King of Comedy. It was like such an allegory
It
to
was
that.
it was basically King of Comedy type things. Yeah.
Yeah, which was weird, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
kind of weird.
it was weird that was, and then with De Niro actually in the movie too, it was just weird. So,
I guess there's like a new Clooney and Brad Pitt thing.
yeah, it's gonna go. It was gonna go to movies, and now it's just gonna go straight to Apple TV streaming.
Yep.
They're both like cleaners, basically.
Yeah, that seems interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and like the opening scene is good, where like the woman wakes up and there's the dead person, and then like George Clooney shows up to clean up the body, and he's in the process, and then all of a sudden like Brad Pitt shows up, and he's just like, "I'm here to fix your problem." He's like, "It's not my problem, and you're not supposed to be here." And then everybody's like, "Oh, you guys are partners," and no, blah blah blah. So,
and I think you gave up on Lord of the Rings, right?
The One Ring. I've heard that the second season's great, but I mean,
Ring of Power.
Ring of Power. Yeah, it was one of those like, could something please happen?
I liked it. It was. I think I thought it was good. But I'm not like an uber fan of Lord of the Rings. I mean,
no, I wasn't either, but I was just so bored. It was
a bit boring, but I don't.
The second season of House of Dragon was good.
I agree. Agreed. I wish more happened, but
yeah, it's another thing where they're like, "Why are you taking your time?"
It was hyper speed on the first season and molasses slow in the second. Like what?
Yeah.
I was hoping for at least a little bit of resolution there, but I guess nope. Okay, well, third season coming, I'm guessing.
I haven't watched anything else. I already talked about whatchamadick. The new Batman. The new Batman on Amazon.
What is the new Batman?
It's the new Batman animated, and it's dark and gritty and fun.
What's he on?
Prime.
Isn't that crazy how everything's like on something now, like another streaming service? Like we have 5 streaming services we have to watch now: Netflix, Prime, Apple, Hulu, and we've all canceled cable, right?
Yeah, I haven't had cable forever.
Please just put cable back on and give me all those channels, please. So I don't.
I mean, this is braggy, but when my house was built, a buddy of mine worked for the cable company, and he just came and hooked up everything for free. He just.
How do you get that? How do you get away with that?
Did you have to take him to the Renaissance Fair? Medieval times?
No. I mean, it was just like a lifelong friend. Like the way he did it was, he basically drove his truck up, and like they were like, because he was doing installs that day, and when he just I don't know, he said, yeah, I got like a 2-hour gap. And he's like, "Do you want me to come over now?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he just came over, and I mean, because the cable company puts the cable in, right? I mean, when the house is being built, they laid everything, and then he just showed up, and he wired all the cable, and he's like, "Which rooms do you want it in?" And he spent about an hour, and I gave him a case of beer, and then he went outside to the cable box and just flicked everything on for me and walked away. And it was like, and we didn't have, so that was back when,
that was a long time ago.
that was what we built this house 16 years ago or whatever. So that was before there was all the goofy, like whatever, like there was, like there's no on-demand stuff. It was just basic cable. You've got 66 channels or whatever, and I could just watch whatever I wanted for free at any time, and I could just watch TV. That was before there was streaming and all that stuff. And I still do. I still have cable internet. So it was just like one of those things where I was a customer, and he just put the TV in. And then eventually what happened was they were like, we're getting rid of basic cable and we're doing something else. And he's like, yeah, and then nothing I can do. At that point, you're just done. So but anyway.
There's a couple of the games I played 2 weeks ago that I kind of forgot to talk about.
Go for it.
Rise and Fall. You heard of this one? It's a really interesting Civ game. Like, very few rules. Like, it's like all pretty abstracted. Like, you've specific types of units and stuff, and the production is amazing. And it's Christopher Bollinger, who is a great, I don't know if you know him. He did a Dungeon Twister. He's like his designs are just crazy good. Now, that being said, it's a conflict game, and I sort of didn't love the conflict part. You don't attack anybody. Well, you do attack people. If you build a monastery, you can take them, a temple or whatever it's called. It's some kind of shrine or something. You can basically take over their units. So if someone builds like a really expensive unit, although it's not that hard to build units. They're pretty easy to build. But there's a couple units that take a bit of work. And if you walk next to a shrine and someone does the action to take over your unit, you just swap them out. You gain control of it. So that's like the attack part. You don't ever really directly attack anybody. You just get in their way. But there's a number of units that walk through units, so it's not a full blocking thing. But if you get blocked off at the beginning of the game, like one of the guys did, he was miserable the entire game. It's a cool game. Not what I'm liking these days, as far as like a conflict simulation. It's not really a simulation; it's just an abstract game. But it's a really neat system. I recommend it if you don't mind getting in people's grills. Like that's the game. And it's really neat though. It's clever. I was impressed. Yeah, Rise and Fall. And then the other game I played again, which was amazing, is Distilled, which I think I've talked to you guys about before.
You have, and like I said, maybe the game is great. I don't know. It just looks like a lot of bells and whistles and push this and touch that.
It is, and it's just a lot of fun though. There's something about it. You only do one thing a turn.
I feel like I've just grown out of those games. I don't know.
Sure. And I thought I did too, but we played.
Well, those always feel like it's layered complexity for no reason other than being complex.
It's not complicated. It's basically, like I said, recipe building. It's not even really set collection. You're basically building types of liquor recipes, and then you're brewing them or distilling them, and then you're kind of putting them in bottles, or you're putting them in aged containers, and there's an aging mechanism, and and there's technology that can help you do things. Like, it's one of those kind of games. But I really like Distilled. And I don't like those games in general anymore. Like, I think I said the recipe game is not my favorite. Where you have to collect 3 of these and 2 of those and 1 of those and make a thing and then turn it in for points. I don't normally like those anymore. But this one I really do. I played it.
I'm sure you have a lot of fun with
it. Okay. Killing me, man.
I don't know, man. I probably I mean,
you've lost your joy.
I've lost my joy. I am super pleased with how I got all my role-playing game books put away. And I mean, and I still have some more that are
joy in organization.
Yeah, there was definitely some joy. And like I said, I have all these boxes.
Did you do any purging?
Yeah, I'm purging a ton of it. So there's a lot that's there's, like I said, there's 6 big boxes over here that will be going to FedEx or UPS tomorrow. The guy's gonna let me know. He's gonna give me he's gonna tell me which one I'm gonna do, and then they'll be gone, and I'll get pennies on the dollar for them, but I don't really care because it'll be
Oh.
gone.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Then you can get a whole bunch of new ones.
I hope not. I don't. I want to be. I really want to break this like habit of like, always like getting more shit, right?
Yeah.
My I mean, that being said, as I like say that I backed the Divine Right Kickstarter
Yeah.
from Pungo Games.
That's the old TSR game.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Or-
I think TSR did a version of it,
Yeah.
but
What? No. What was the name of that designer?
anyway, it was one of those things where like, and they've had them and they're shipping, right? And I always just say, like, they always say, it's like, oh, we had 1,100 backers and we shipped 700 or so, and it's like, we're still shipping them, and then they're like, hey, here's our next campaign we're doing, it's live right now, and I'm like, I don't have my shit from your first one. But then I
Was
went
that
on
the
the
1979?
yeah. So then I went on their site or whatever. I went on I went on to the Kickstarter page, and there's just tons of people saying, why did you pack the game in a, like, basically the whatever however they're doing the fulfillment. I mean, I think they hired somebody, but the fulfillment company is basically the size of the box. Everybody's saying the size of the box of the game is basically the exact same size as the USPS
Box.
the
Yeah.
pre-box.
So it's packed to
And-
the edge of that box with no padding.
with no padding, and
So it
they're
just
like,
gets crushed. Yeah, it
yeah,
gets damaged.
my game's getting like completely destroyed.
Yeah.
And their response for like the first like several were like, please send pictures of the damage to this, so we can submit a claim to the postal service for the damage that occurred. Which I'll tell you right now, the postal service ain't gonna do shit. They'll say, oh yeah, something got damaged. That's it. That's what they'll say. Maybe they'll give them like $5, but I mean, people are like, I don't want $5. I want my game not to be smashed to hell and back. And so it's going to be one of those things where they're going to be like, and then over the course of like the last whatever, they've just stopped responding to people because they realize like, oh geez, it was a bad choice. Their fulfillment choices were poor. But whatever. I mean, I'll get my copy eventually. It hasn't been sent yet, so it's kind of annoying. But maybe if they're gonna like actually say, okay, we need to put these in like actual real boxes now, then maybe mine will actually, get put in a real box now. I'll say this, like, so that Kickstarter, like, it was like, here, it's the brand new reprint or whatever of this whatever game. And let's see here, Divine Right, they raised 114 grand, not nothing. And they what did they say here? Oh no, so to back it, it was $75 for the game. And then, but if you wanted the neoprene map, like basically this giant neoprene map to play on, it was $170. So it was like $95 for the neoprene map. But they had a launch special, like if you got in the first 24 hours, you could get it for $150. So I did that. I got the neoprene mat, like the giant mat.
Yeah, those are cool though.
I'm thinking and I don't know this for sure, but I'm thinking the ones that have the neoprene mat haven't been sent yet because uh if the mat's that big, like putting them together in that box probably wasn't going to work.
Would not be possible.
Yeah. So maybe that's why I'm waiting or whatever. You know, so it's got a 7.2 on the Board Game Geek if you care about ratings.
Talk about the Divine Right game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a war game, right?
It is, but it's very I mean, like the guy who created it, like wrote an entire book about all of the mythology about it that you can buy on Amazon, and
I think I tried to track it down when I was getting into gaming back in the day.
yeah,
Like it was one of those games that so it's listed as what's the ID number? 23. So that should tell you something. That was in one of the collections that of the people I work, put entered in the game collections on BGG. So I think I tried to track a copy down. Yeah, I mean it's cool. I like the map. Did they keep the map style the same or did they modernize it? What did they do?
I have no idea. I feel like
No, it looks the same.
Same with the same font.
So 1 second.
Everything looks the same to me.
Okay, no artwork changes.
No, I mean this is Worthington. They don't do a lot of
Yeah, sure.
like graphic stuff. I played a game that no one's gonna be interested in, but I think it's really cool. I want to talk about it.
Please do.
So, if anyone's ever wanted to play like a miniature war game, but they're like, I don't want to get into all of the
Big
I have to
minis.
get the codex and I gotta get all these rules and this and that. And there is this amazing miniature wargaming book called 1 Hour Skirmish.
So
And
sorry. This is why you go to the BGG flea market. So this is widely considered to be the weaker version of it because it's the 21st anniversary version of it. It's not the original TSR one, but some guy had this, and I was like, "Is it complete?" He's like, "As far as I know," and I was like, and it had this thing. It said $10, and I was like, "I'll buy it for $10." He's like, "Cool," and I was happy to get it. And I mean, it was one of those things where it's like if he had gone to eBay with it, I'm sure he could have sold it for more, but he just didn't care. He just wanted it. Anyway, sorry, Anthony,
What is it?
you were saying
1 hour
it's
war
called
game?
1 Hour Skirmish War Games. And so this guy has this book. His name is John Lambshead. He actually had a second book just come out in the thing. But he basically came up with this system to play a 1 hour skirmish miniature game with any miniatures you have using the exact same rule set. And everything is resolved with playing cards. There are no dice in the game. So, like, how many units do I get to activate this round? You flip over a card. Okay, it's an 8. I get 8 activations this round. And activation is move and shoot or move and stab or whatever. And then all your results are flips of cards. So if you're playing, it's 2-player game, you can play more than 2 people, but you basically each have a deck of cards with the jokers in it, and then you flip. And this number beats this number. And then you have guys that get hit, like get shot and they get hit. You lay them down. And then when a joker comes up, you have to see if they actually survived or not. So you just basically just keep flipping cards. And if it's a red card, red is dead, and black, they get to stand back up. So anytime the Joker comes up, the round ends right there. You basically resolve who's died, who's laying down. You shuffle your cards back up again, you keep going. It's an hour to play, and it's so much fun because literally you can do it with any miniatures. It works for if you want to do Napoleonics, if you want to do World War II. There's a guy who did Star Wars. Like, you adjusted that guy's rule book to make Star Wars rules. But like, I think it's phenomenal. I mean, in the book it's like, I don't know, $18. So if you ever wanted to play a war game and you're like, I don't want to go and have to learn how to play all of these, because I like Necromunda better than Warhammer because it's a lot fewer minis and whatnot. But the thing is too, it's a skirmish game. So literally, if you get 12 models
Yeah, you're
on
done.
a team, that's it. You're good.
Do you remember Chronopia?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
recently found
that was
my
a small model.
found my rules for
That
it.
was a small model game.
So
Few models,
here,
I should say.
it was unpunched. That copy of Divine Right. It had the
A certificate of authenticity.
number. They made 1,000 copies. My copy is number 192. It was at the beginning of. You want to play it online? Go to Divine Right Online. It says here.
That's still
Welcome
up?
to Minaria. Now that you have the game, all you need are some opponents. You may be lucky enough to have the friends to sit down for the full-length board game. Possibly you don't have a current gaming group. There are so many people worldwide in a similar situation that want to play Divine Right online. Our software provides a virtual game board enabling anyone to play from their own home against opponents across the internet. Visit us to find out more at divinerightonline.com. And last but not least, the Divine Right CD-ROM.
What does that do?
I have no idea, but it was included. It was actually in the thing anymore. Let's see here. It says, I have no idea. This special CD-ROM provides insight into the original development of Divine Right, its timeline, legends for the world of Minaria, and supplement art. Also contained therein are intermediate and advanced rule books for the more courageous player and printable replacements for counters, cards, and basic rules. 2002. No idea. That guy was sitting on a gold mine and he sold it to me for $10. You have no idea what he.
What's it selling for on BGG?
No idea. Kabuki Kid said DivineRightOnline.com is dead.
$250 on Noble Knight.
Oh, really? Well, Noble Knight. I mean,
There's a one for $73 right now on BGG. The new one as a pre-order, 73.
well, that makes sense.
CLS Games is selling it.
That's why you go to the flea market at BGG Con, baby.
Yeah.
The original 6-sided dice.
Fancy.
Yeah, I know. I thought so. All right.
So now you'll have two copies of it that will never get played.
You're never gonna play.
No, well, I mean, I was hoping I'd get mine before Gathering of Vikings, which I probably will, because I want to make people play it. Together.
I'll be right back.
I want to force people to play.
I mean, it is a pretty. It is absolutely a very, what's what I'm looking for here? It is
Dense?
It is a dense war game. I mean, it's like now during the siege phase, you will, stuff like that.
Is it
So-
like Magic? Is it like Magic Realm dense?
No, not even close.
Oh, okay.
But it is dense. Here, 1 second.
Everyone's leaving. I'm all alone. No, Forrest is here. Forrest is working though.
Is it that obvious?
Well, I see you moving your head and like you're reading stuff on your screen, but you're not talking to us. So I'm like he's reading emails and responding to people.
Yup.
And it's Scott's picture from his new romance mystery novel. Ah, where did the hell did Lance go?
It's looking for a book right behind him.
This is going to be thrilling when he gets back. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Captivating. I don't even have the chat open with the people watching, so I have no idea what's going on. Oh, look, he's back. What did you have to go get?
I gotta wait for Aldi to come back now.
Oh.
So. Patience, Grasshopper.
Well, I don't know. You got everyone walked away, and Forrest was muted because he was working. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Hey, we haven't had an update on the old job recently, Forrest. What's new with the old job?
Didn't I give an update when I was here that I was going to be taking the leash off a little bit? So yeah, I thought I mentioned that. I'm going to have essentially someone who's going to do a lot of just the bookkeeping tasks, the manual entry, like a lot of that sort of stuff, the emails and whatnot. I'm going to focus on a bunch of other stuff, which will be exciting, like doing videos. And he asked me if I wanted to be the marketing manager for the YouTube channel, and I was like, dude, I would know the first thing to be, no clue. Which I think he appreciated the fact that I was like, I don't know, I wouldn't know how to do the fucking job. I would be guessing. I'd be completely guessing. And I was like, but I'm more than happy to help that person with whatever they need. But
Yeah. Well, good for you for knowing that, like, yeah, that's not going to be a good fit for me, and having the wherewithal to, like, say no, because then you don't have to disappoint him and he doesn't have to be annoyed. Here, you're back, Aldi. So, yeah, I was just going to.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Chronopia.
Yeah, it was fun.
I remember I picked this up.
The D20 as well.
I just thought it looked cool. Right? You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't realize that it was a Heartbreaker Target Games US. P.O. Box 544, Sakane, Pennsylvania. I doubt they're still together. But I thought it just looked cool, and I did not realize it was a miniatures thing. I thought it was like a D&D source book. But it wasn't, right? And it was just basically all of this why the whole thing is why everybody is at war, right? But I took most of the ideas behind this and made an entire D&D campaign that ran for about 2-3 years. I basically had the things that were from the world of Chronopia invade through the realms or whatever and invade their world. And I had some fun with it. I mean just the stuff, the art and the stuff in this book is just amazing. Super good. And then I remember I found some of the minis, but they were all metal. And metal just doesn't hold up well. It bends and it gets screwed up. And then I remember a buddy of mine kind of cheated the system a bit and like set up a fake company to pretend like he was a retail store. And then so he could buy stuff through distribution. And he was able to do it. And so he was be able to buy minis at like whatever it was, 30 or 40%. I got some minis that way. No idea where those minis are now. But I had some Chronopia minis. The thing that I always hated about metal minis was they never, when you glued them together, they never stayed well ever. Compared,
yeah, because they didn't seal right. It didn't melt the plastic.
Yeah, and so I mean, it was just like so. It's like, oh, it's a multiple piece. But yeah.
Oh, I meant to show you guys this new sticker set we're working on. Did you see the stickers?
You sure? I think you should.
It's like the wacky pop ones.
Yeah, the wacky stickers.
Wacky, wacky, wacky.
Okay, that's not it.
I saw a couple of them online. Yeah. Power,
Yeah, I've totally forgot about these. We made these 4 years ago.
power squid.
Power Squid, Tissue, Pandemic. Yeah, so there's 16. It's a series, but I do not remember much about them at all. I remember them now that I vaguely remember Tissue, but I'm going to be surprised because I haven't looked at him in over 4 years.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Come on, somebody's got to have a grievance or something.
We already did it.
I know, but I mean, like they're pretty weak grievances. It's been weird. I haven't had any like really serious like what is going on moments with anybody recently.
Gravy train with biscuit wheels over here. Things are going pretty good. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yup.
Yeah, I mean I'm not. It's yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's like I haven't had oh, so isn't it weird that like, and there's you can decide who your favorite whatever is like, but I saw so many people are like, oh, James Earl Jones, Darth Vader, and I was just kind of like, all he did was the voice though, right?
I don't really associate him to Darth Vader, but
Yeah, but
I associate it more of this is CNN. No.
no,
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams, Terrence Mann, when he played Terrence Mann in Field of Dreams, and Thulsa Doom. Steel isn't strong, boy. Steel is nothing compared to the strength of the flesh that wields it. Just like, and he had that great moment where it's like, you killed my father, you killed my mother, you killed my whole village. Yes, I was young. Like, it was the original. For me, it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
He was so good as Thulsa Doom.
It was good. I wish they would remake that properly, but probably can't.
Well, they tried to do that remake, but I mean, no, I loved. I mean, he was so evil as Thulsa Doom. I'll always. I mean, he was so good in that role, so perfect in that role. God, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, but he was 93. I mean, what do you do? I mean, what did he die of? He died of being 93. I mean,
Yeah. What do you want to do? Live forever?
Yup.
yeah.
That'd
I always loved what that's what my interview
Is
with
that a Conan line?
that's the woman. What do you want to do? Live forever? When she's the woman says that
when
to
she's
him?
coming, when she looks at him from
Yeah.
she's like, like the spirit.
I can't remember the boxer's name. It was like I can't Larry Holmes. They said he was interviewed. He said, Larry, how do you want to be remembered? How do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as the longest living human being of all time. It's just like that's a great answer. No, I loved him in the Patriot Games movies. That was great. Like the very first one, Hunt for October. I love that scene where they're sitting there and they fire the torpedo, and then the guy things open up, and he hits the button to blow it up, and it's just like when you are asked,
Yeah,
you will say that you heard the torpedo impacted, and I was never here. Just like I always remember that. That
was a great
moment.
movie. Too bad they don't make those movies anymore.
I remember. I mean, this summer, my
Does Tom Clancy have any good books that have not been made into movies?
I don't know. but Caleb and I watched about a dozen movies this summer. Just I was like, we're gonna stay up and watch movies. I'm gonna show you movies that I grew up watching, and that was one of the movies we watched. And that was a movie that, I mean, he was like, that was really cool, and I was like, and he loved the submarine stuff, and you know, he couldn't quite. He was like, who was the guy? It was the cook. You know, even though he said it was the cook, you saw him briefly in one scene earlier. He's like, oh, that's weird. You think they would have shown him more? And I was like, well, that's the whole point. Is like he's just
He
nobody.
blended it. He was nobody.
Yeah. So I mean,
I want to
that's-
move to Montana.
Yep. Yeah. And find a big American wife.
Did he say that too?
Yeah, he said I want to move to Montana and find a big American wife, and live in and visit the states in a motorhome. And he was like, "Are you allowed to do that? Can you drive from state to state?" And he's like, "Yes, no papers, no papers." You know, just yeah.
Oh, so Lance,
So Anthony,
you see the P3 paints?
yeah, I still got a bunch in my closet that I haven't used. So,
Yeah.
P3.
I thought you sent me all the ones you had.
oh, did I? Oh, then they're all gone. Cool.
I don't know if I got all of them. I got a whole bunch from you
What's the
When did I
P3?
send? When did I send you those?
a while ago.
Yeah, I mean that's
You didn't
gotta
like
be-
the pots. You wanted old dropper bottles, so you got
Oh, that's right. Yep. You're absolutely right. I
rid.
don't
I was
like the box.
watching a review of the new ones that are coming. The guy Ninjon, miniature painter on YouTube, and
Mm.
they're his favorite paints, he says. And the
Hmm.
guy's pretty freaking phenomenal painter. But they're like he said,
Do you
they've
like the
always been
contrast paints? Do you like contrast
No,
paints?
they're not contrast paints. They're regular.
Oh, I was saying, do you like contrast paints?
I haven't used them.
Oh, they're pretty good.
Well, they when they came out, they were impossible to find. So then,
Yeah. You can get them now.
So here you go. Here you go. See if you did you see these are the movies that James Earl Jones was in.
Okay.
Doctor Strangelove. Absolutely. I've seen him in
Yes.
that. The Comedians.
Nope.
No. End of the Road.
Oh, it doesn't ring a bell.
The Great White Hope.
I've seen that.
I've seen that.
I've
as well.
not seen that.
He's also Malcolm X in The Greatest.
You're getting ahead of me here.
Sorry.
The Man. And 1972, The Man. 1974, Claudine.
Nope.
So this one's kind of funny here. 1976, and the only reason I've seen this movie was because I was sitting there and I was working at a video store, and we had the TVs, you know, they were all wired to one VCR, and you'd play a movie or whatever. And then we would say you can watch any movie you want, but it's got to be PG. You can't put an R-rated movie. And so this guy I knew walked around, and then just got hired, and he came back and he had this movie, The Bingo Long Traveling All Stars and Motor Kings, 1976. And it was and he started, it was basically about a sports comedy about Negro League baseball. It was just, you know, it was weird. And it actually had like nudity and murder and stuff, and I was like, oh my god! That's like I ran over and turned it off. Because back when a PG could, you know, have a little bit of that stuff. Anyway, Deadly Hero, no idea. The Greatest, he played Malcolm X, as was already been sold. Star Wars, Darth Vader, Exorcist 2, The Heretic, the last remake of Bo Guest, A Piece of the Action, The Bushido Blade. I've seen that movie, and I remember seeing him in that movie. Empire Strikes Back, The Flight of Dragons, Conan the Barbarian, Blood Tide, Return of the Jedi, City Limits, Soul Man. Remember that one where the guy took too many of the pills? That big movie could not be made. Alan Quatermain and The Lost City of Gold, and he played Slapagas in that movie. Gardens of Stone, My Little Girl, Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night, Matawan, King Jaffer, Coming to America.
I'm looking for my son.
I'm looking for my son.
You know, you go upstairs.
Field of Dreams, Best of the Best, Convicts, Hunt for Red October, The Ambulance, Scorchers, True Identity, Patriot Games, Sneakers. He had a great little cameo at the end of Sneakers. That's a great movie. I really like the movie Sneakers. It's fun. Summersby, The Sandlot. He was great in The Sandlot. Excessive Force, The Meteor Man, Naked Gun 33 and a Third, Clean Slate, The Lion King, Clear and Present Danger, Jefferson in Paris, Cry, The Beloved Country. I've seen that. Casper, A Spirited Beginning, Gang Related, Lion King 2, Undercover Angel, The Annihilation of Fish, Fantasia 2000, Finder's Fee, Robots, Star Wars Episode 3, The Benchwarmers, the narrator of Scary Movie 4.
He had one line in episode 3, didn't he?
Yeah.
No.
Welcome
Right.
Home, Roscoe Jenkins, Jack and the Beanstalk, Gimme Shelter, The Angriest Man in Brooklyn, Rogue One is Darth Vader, Warning Shots, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Emperor Palpatine impersonating Darth Vader, and then Coming to America 2.
That was his last movie.
That was his last film appearance.
Was that movie any good? Was that any good?
It was okay.
I didn't like Beverly Hills Cop 2, 3, 4, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, that one was so slow.
I didn't have the nostalgia for it at all.
Yeah.
It was just boring.
And the two cops, the actors that played the two cops, like they looked just really old and tired.
Yeah, they didn't look good at all.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. You're just like, what do you do?
I have a grievance.
Go for it.
I'm all with the whole Hollywood just making sequels and sequels and sequels and sequels and sequels. Stop making prequels of things and making them totally stupid.
You have an example?
Yeah, the Transformers Year One and the new Lion King movie.
Yeah, sure. I don't think they're for us, though. You know.
I know. Stop.
My kids are super excited
like
for that
money.
Transformers movie, and they've never seen anything Transformers ever.
What does it do with that Transformers movie?
Have them watch the cartoon from the 80s.
They want to watch the movie. They saw a preview for it. They want to see it. I mean, it worked.
But like the story of the Lion King one is just ridiculous.
Did you see it, or
Have you seen the trailer?
No.
So there's a long trailer online for it,
which basically tells a lot of the story.
Well, basically, it's the fact that Mufasa and Scar aren't actually brothers.
Oh, so they wrecked the cannon?
So Scar is actually the heir. And Mufasa is just some orphaned lion that they take in to take care of.
Gotcha.
Saw that one coming.
Wait, that's in the preview?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow, how silly.
Like,
whatever. I mean, I have really no connection to Lion. I have no connection to any of the Disney animated movies that came out in the 90s. Maybe Aladdin. because I thought that was pretty funny. But all the other ones, I don't care.
I'm just done with it.
I watched
So-
the last, like, you know, the human version, whatever, like, you know, the real
The one with Will Smith. as
with Will
Gene?
Smith. It was just bad. Not for me.
So we can wrap up. I know we're getting
Yeah.
tired and whatever, but
Yeah,
but
I'm running out of gas.
yeah. So, but you know what movie I thought of, and I think the only person that all of you got a shot. Anthony, I'd lay a wager good 95% chance you're gonna remember this movie, even though it's kind of
$5 American.
yeah. I wait, Forrest, you got no shot. He's not even listening anyway. So all of a sudden, this thing entered my brain. I was just thinking about movies I used to watch on HBO or Showtime or whatever. They just always be on, right? And I was just like, so late 70s, starring Dom DeLuise, also directed by Dom DeLuise,
That's
Jerry Reed,
Wait, you cut out. Dom DeLuise, okay.
also directed by Dom DeLuise, co-starring Jerry Reed, Suzanne Plachette. They were cops that took over a pawn shop.
Yes, I know what it is.
Yes,
Hot Stuff.
hot stuff.
Oh
There
my
you
god,
go,
I watched that
Holly.
so many times. Hot Stuff,
I
baby.
love Hot Stuff.
Oh, Hot Stuff
baby.
was the best.
It was such a good movie. It was so good. From like everything about it was just so great. The whole idea that they arrest the pawn shop owner and then they take over the pawn shop and they record the people on videotape, like,
was like a
selling
sting.
the stolen goods to them.
It was like an entrapment kind of thing. Right?
Because they were tired. They couldn't.
They could never put him away.
They could never put people away because they didn't have enough evidence on them. And so, and it was like, and then they had the whole subplot of the mob saying, "Oh, you're moving in on our turf," and so then they had to arrest the mobsters, and yeah, hot stuff, baby.
Wackiness ensues.
Yeah,
and they basically
1979.
So they didn't want to wrap. I mean, this is a spoiler, but I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it's past the statute of limitations. They didn't want to like arrest them onesie twosie because the word would spread and everybody would leave town. So they had a party.
Mm-hmm.
Where they invited everybody over for a big party.
Yep.
Which is so great.
And so, and I remember the thing about it that made me laugh was like, as a kid, I didn't grasp it, but I got, and then they were
it
like,
took me a while to grasp it.
So then they had, as a kid, I didn't really grasp it, but then like everybody who showed up for the big party to celebrate or whatever, they got their captain of the police to show up and dress up as the Godfather. And then
Yes.
the one person goes up and he goes, Black Ossie Davis, wonderful actor, played the captain. He's like, a black Godfather? And they're all like getting in line to kiss the ring.
Right. That brings back some memories. I watched it a lot too because it was always on HBO.
It was always on. It was always on.
on.
And it was so good.
I forgot that
It was
Dom
just-
DeLuise was in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so just of course now I gotta find out. We'll go to Just Watch. And I
Can you
gotta
watch
hope.
Can you watch it?
Can we watch Hot Stuff?
Does it hold up? Probably
It's on Tubi. It's on
Okay.
Tubi.
Done. Let's do it.
God, I will be. Should we have a live watch party?
Live
of
watch
Hot
party
Stuff?
of Hot
Hot
Stuff.
stuff. Okay. Hey, let's do that. We're gonna do a live. Don't nobody watch it. Next week we're gonna do a live watch party. Go Tubi, everybody. It's free. It's free. Everybody can do it. We're gonna do a live watch party of Hot Stuff. I can't.
But we can't broadcast it. We'll just
We
have to.
can't broadcast it. We'll all just talk about it, and we'll talk about it. That's what we'll do. We're gonna watch Hot Stuff.
I guess you could show like maybe a second of it every once in a while.
Yeah, no, I mean we'll just have to react to it and talk about it. But yeah, make sure you
Excited. That's like
make
actually
sure you-
pretty.
Yeah, no, I was just I mean literally it just was like bing. I mean, like I remember there was the kid that wanted to like sell them their dog because he didn't have any money. And didn't they get like some like big mean dog to guard the place or something like that? I mean, because they got robbed one time or something. I don't know.
Probably.
And so they bought, either they took the kid's dog to have him guard, or I don't remember. But yeah, Hot Stuff on Tubi, baby. Tubi. This is gonna be amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh,
The
that's
best
interesting.
ever.
How long is the movie? It's not that long, right? It's pretty fast.
91 minutes. 91
It's
minutes.
still pretty long.
Yeah, so
Both of Dom DeLuise's sons are in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Peter and David are both in it.
I just started it up. The picture you're about to see was inspired by true stories from the police department files throughout the U.S. I'm not gonna watch it. I want to have a fresh, but this is gonna do a mainline direct link right into my veins, right into my, 9-10-year-old veins of watching Hot Stuff. All right, cool. We got a
Good
plan.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Actually, wait, I got a posting.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
hold on. Secret.